I'm DMC to quickly blaze them with a run. Pressure on y'all, shrivel up, raising in the sun. I can blaze you with the gun, rather raise you like the one. In the hood y'all sweat it out, but I remain the champion. Smoky like the bear, bring fire to your camp. When I light up the air like wires in a lamp. Coke in your ear, hear the fire and get amped. I got that choke keeping near, always fire when I champ. My flow absolute style classic, got the proof. 0 to 100, know the ledge like the roof. Make them disappear out of thin air, they go poof. Facts come and go, HAKIM remains the truth. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail. I drop jewels. Science, mathematics, language arts, social studies, lyrical gymnastics, style, charismatic, pragmatic with the sentence structure. Smile is aromatic, fanatic with the ism structure. Back to the subject, how I school MCs. I get checks off the blue cheese. UMCs, they used to call me powder, then I blew UNC. Taking y'all back to school like fools in truancy. I rock with the teacher like the board education. Fuck doc with the reefer, got a script for medication. Get A's for dedication on my way to graduation. Hand in hand like diplomas rolled up. Congratulations. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail.
Ha, you want to get down with BDP? You got to take this test, nigga.
Keep that. So, you mind if I run that back? I messed up and I didn't start the show. So that whole intro we did,
yeah,
hadn't started the show. So we gonna run that back.
What?
Yeah.
What's up, Clippy? I was sitting here like,
it's a dope track though. We can rerun it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Took a test for HAKIM Green. Beat produced by Ron Amin Rod Lawrence. Check it out.
No KRS-One said, Hawk, you want to get down with BDP? You got to take this test. You know what I mean? I was ready. Here go. Make some from nothing by uttering the word. Niggas don't get it? I must be stuttering from the herb. Y'all be cluttering in the burbs. Hovering with nerds. I'm trying to build shelter from the oncoming purge. Donald Trump is tripping. I'm trying to stave the surge. Do it for the bricks. With friends from Laughing Market merge. Get my brothers out the county. See the city reemerge. I'm trying to keep it straight. My people living on the curb. Motherfucker got to nerve. Must not have heard. I'm tired of the pimps pushing fiends in the perbs. Fire with the bars, metaphors, and the verbs. I wanna see him go to college, not make him whores on the curb. So disturbed, so stay high as a bird. Niggas want this smoke, hit me up, you'll get served. I'm sick with technique, I'm ill with the maneuver. DJs want my effect like they were straight out the sewer. I'm talking, I'm a doer. Find me in the viewer. I'm so underground, you're just the Barbie in the sewer. I'm a grown man in this young world, I feel like I'm Rick the Ruler. I'm trying to get all these bars, but I'm not Robert Mueller. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. I'm DMC to quickly blaze them with a run. Pressure on y'all, shrivel up, raising in the sun. I can blaze you with the gun, rather raise you like the one. In the hood y'all sweat it out, but I remain the champion. Smoky like the bear, bring fire to your camp. When I light up the air like wires in a lamp. Coke in your ear, hear the fire and get amped. I got that choke keeping near, always fire when I champ. My flow absolute style classic, got the proof. 0 to 100, know the ledge like the roof. Make them disappear out of thin air, they go poof. Facts come and go, HAKIM remains the truth. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail. I drop jewels. Science, mathematics, language arts, social studies, lyrical gymnastics, style, charismatic, pragmatic with the sentence structure. Smile is aromatic, fanatic with the ism structure. Back to the subject, how I school MCs. I get checks off the blue cheese. UMCs, they used to call me powder, then I blew UNC. Taking y'all back to school like fools in truancy. I rock with the teacher like the board education. Fuck doc with the reefer, got a script for medication. Get A's for dedication on my way to graduation. Hand in hand like diplomas rolled up. Congratulations. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. Witty as can be and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail. The rhymes I say, sharp as a nail. and not for sale. Always funky fresh, could never be stale. Took a test to become an MC and didn't fail.
Ha, you want to get down with BDP? You got to take this test, nigga.
Keep that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, just something for the, for our generation, I mean, it's for everybody, but I wanted to make some music for us.
Yeah.
Something that we could appreciate.
Oh, could we? I mean, come on now.
I mean, and I gotta put Cliff up on something. So the third verse, I say, I go, I ain't be got no weapon when I camel walk like Johnny, ringing bells on a rock the mic is poison like a Ronnie. I called up John and Soka and I was like, camel walk, Johnny. I ain't got no weapon. And he's laughing. I said, watch, I'm gonna make a song out of that. Watch, it's gonna be a song. And then that was last year this time. And now here you go, song, video, KRS, what is in it, the whole nine.
That's dope.
That's what's up right there.
Big shout out to John and Soka, who was partly the inspiration for that joint right there.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. But okay.
Camp Kennedy, yo. Camp Kennedy, yeah.
Oh, Camp Kennedy, Fairview Lakes. Fairview Lake camps, no doubt.
That's what y'all made him a man. Y'all made him a man out there.
Yeah, Rusty Knight, the Rusty Knight.
The Rusty Knight, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Aaron Pincus.
All that.
Oh man.
The days. Yeah. So this is Madism Sports, though, ladies and gentlemen, and we want. Keep it focused, keep it on point. What up, Asiatic? Asiatic is in that video right there. Actually, before we get there about that video, my man Asiatic, Richard Dixon, he taught me how to rhyme when I was like 9-10 years old, like 10 years old. My first couple rhymes ever. I had a Superman rhyme, I had a Frankenstein rhyme, and I had a on the popcorn rhyme. Everybody had he helped me write them joints. So big shout out to him. Had to put him in the video, you know what I mean? Show that respect and love. East Orange, Illtown, what I'm saying? The Stardust 3, Bush City Crew, you know what I'm saying? The BCB, Bush City Boys, you know what I mean? Big shout out to them. But anyway, this is Madism Sports. We got a lot to talk about in the sports world, so let's kind of shift gears and focus in. We're going to have Coach Eric Harriel joining us later at 8 o'clock and really get into this draft. So beforehand, we figure, let's talk about some of the other things that's happening in the sports world. First and foremost, Simone Biles in the Olympics. She claims to have been, she's experiencing some mental issues, and she backed out. People are criticizing her, saying she quit on her team, saying she needs to, she wants to be considered the GOAT. She's gonna have to, push through her mental issues. But it was good to see the overwhelming amount of support that she got across all types of demographics, blacks, whites, men, women, really saying that, we need to, support people when they're going through whatever anxieties or depression or stress, when they say enough is enough, maybe enough is enough. And when you look at somebody like Simone Biles, who is undoubtedly the GOAT of this whole gymnastics world, like hands down, she's the GOAT. Like she didn't have to participate in Tokyo, and her reputation is solidified. For her to say, hey, you know what, guys, I'm gonna back away. I'm gonna take some time. Also considering how dangerous her event is, gymnastics, where you could easily fall, break your neck, paralysis, all other types of injuries, knee injuries, leg injuries. It's not something you want to go in, with the wrong mental mind, wrong mental state. So now I figure we talk about that. Let's chop that up first. What you guys think about, the whole Simone Biles controversy.
Well, you hit the nail on the head talking about one, that she's the GOAT, and all of the naysayers who are initially going to talk about how, well, if you're the GOAT, you can't do something like that. Well, guess what? She did, and she's doing it. And the bigger point that you made is the fact that, again, if you don't have the right mental doing what she does, you kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? You talking about a catastrophic injury. You talking about, a number of things that can happen. And as far as her letting down her team, I mean, I think, again, you saw, her dismount and how she clearly was not, on her game. So if she would have stayed into the team competition, I beg to differ. I think she would have brought her team down. So I think it showed a lot of courage. I think it showed a lot of maturity. And again, you have to look at it. She's been winning gold medals for years, and she's now starting to verbalize the fact that it's weighed heavily on her. You know what I'm saying? This is not something whereas, you just go out and compete. She feels a responsibility. And if you're not, feeling your best mentally, she and Osaka are the ones who really bringing this conversation to the forefront. And I think they have the perfect platforms to do it.
Mm-hmm. Wes, you want to?
Yeah, I mean, you guys said everything. I mean, just and then to add to it, we don't really get to see the backdrop of it, the behind the scenes, and she seems to be a young lady who, as us as fans on the outside or people that are criticizing her from the outside, saying that they're using the word quit on her team. She seems to be one of these young ladies that I'm sure for her to have the courage that she did to do what she did, that she seems to be the person that would go to her teammates first before she even did that. So I think that she probably went to them, explained her situation, and most team atmospheres to this day, and when you're on any type of team, your teammates understand, right? And so they understand that this is bigger than a gold medal. And they've gone, and that's gymnastics is one of those like cult, not cult sports, but like it's a group that you grow with these people.
It's a culture. It's
a culture, right? So you're around these people all the time, so they know your grind. Only people that's gonna know your grind are the people that work with you, your coaches and your teammates. So I know she had the support of the people that mattered most. And so I commend her even more, and I commend her teammates for their support for her, because it's bigger than a gold medal. We always want to put America country first when it's for the reasons that they want to see as the reasons. But the reality is she's already a champion.
Yeah. How many times over?
Exactly.
She don't have nothing to prove to nobody.
And
she needs to get herself right. And the same thing with Osaka. And then the other thing that we just not going to touch it, but it's still an obvious fact. They carry a different burden that some of their other athletes don't carry. They carry a different weight that they don't carry. The other athletes don't carry. So she comes with expectations, and she wants to be perfect, right? Because she feels like she has to be.
That's right. You have to be.
And you can't like you guys said, in this sport, there's no margin for error. You can't have a bad day. So a bad day can be catastrophic. You can stumble off the horse, but she's doing things where she can hurt herself permanently.
She's doing things men that are not even trying. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here you go to that point, Cliff, because earlier before the Olympics, there was a controversy around how she was being judged and graded, and how they were saying that they would have to basically devalue a lot of what she's doing because other gymnasts can't compete. And to me, that's a sick way to think about anything, to tell your athletes that you basically have to dumb yourself down in order for other people to where they do that at.
They do that everywhere. They want you to do that. They want to do that everywhere.
That point, don't you think that's probably one of the biggest reasons that's weighing on her mental health? You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that, okay, she's trying to elevate to a level never before seen, try things people have never done. And in her doing that, they're telling her they're going to devalue her. You know what I'm saying? She's not even getting these routines like approved to the point whereas she's getting the full credit for it, and all of that weighs on you, yo.
Yeah.
All of that is I'm sure added to the pile that's just been building on this.
Yeah. And and I don't know if that's her specific issue. This is me speculating, However, racism is a real thing. And racism and its effect on people of color and how we're forced to deal with things that other groups of people don't have to deal with, it's just taken too lightly. There is a mental demand, the emotional and mental demand on African Americans, Black people, people of color, however you want to phrase that, from the style of our hair, the texture of our hair, to our body shapes, to like we're always being judged negatively for who we are naturally, because the default is supposed to be white is the best. So when you have an African American athlete, that is breaking all the standards, raising the bar, you got these people who usually say, well, you got to lift yourself by bootstrap. You got to try harder. Socialism, that's not fair. Equality, equity, you have to work hard. Or all of a sudden go, well, we have to come in and hold you back from being great. Mm-hmm. We have to give other people an opportunity.
Don't be too great.
Don't be too great.
Tamp that down a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's like telling Tom Brady, no, Brady, you're too great. You got to tap that down. Aaron Rodgers, no, you're too great. You got to tap that down.
But on the flip side of that comment, we also forget what you just said too, as even supporters of certain athletes and certain teams and certain people, because sometimes our expectations are just in line with that as well. We expect things that are pretty much not fair. How we judge certain people based on how we like them, or like, somebody could do the same thing in a certain amount of time, and we're judging a person after 3 years when a person that's played for 15 years has already completed his career, and the person that's done it for 3 either is equal to the person or there's so much lesser, when after 3 years for that person that's done it for 15 didn't even do what this person did in 3. So it's all these little subplots that we dumb it down so we can we want to prop up the people that we feel are deserving of the accolades. And the reality is, as an athlete, anytime you climb the mountain, you're a winner. Period. I mean, that's it. So
we had a conversation earlier, Wes. You were talking about some of the Ironman events that you participated in, competitions that you participated in, and how you being a 50-plus-year-old gentleman, competing. It's more about the competition within yourself as opposed to people who are much younger than you, different experiences, different. You go. So we talked about mental pressure and how people look at you and are judging you. Yeah, and you're like, man, like. Not that it's not that serious to me, but I'm competing against myself. I'm just trying to be a better me.
Yeah, they don't get like, my line. I was telling you that, I was doing the Ironman event, and I'm doing it as a 52-year-old, and I got 35, 36, 37-year-old men saying to me where I need to be. And I just calmly responded, let me check on you in 15 years and see if you where I'm at today. You see what I'm saying? Because and I don't use my age as an excuse, because I'm one of the people that if I'm out here, I'm free game, right? But at the same time, we got to recognize that I'm out there doing what I'm doing, and there's days when I hear, oh, you're only using 30s. I'm using 35s, or oh, I'm not running that hard today. What are you running that fast for? So when they can't beat you, they want to dumb it down, like you're not really doing anything special because they're not trying hard, right? But when they know they're doing something better than you, they want to let you know that you're underachieving. And it doesn't go that way, because the only person I have to please is me.
Right.
Yeah, that's real. And when you're Simone Biles, and it's clearly nobody's on your level, she's got to be right with herself.
Yes,
not absolutely. With USA Athletic Committee, gymnasts. Got to be right with yourself. So more power to Simone Biles, and we wish you all the best. And whenever you're right to come back and do your thing, we know you're going to succeed. Even more.
But it's a shame that you have to have that level of cachet to for it to be as accepted as it is. And to be honest with you, it's not even accepted by the masses like it should be. You know, she should be applauded, you know what I'm saying, by the masses, as opposed to getting the little bit of slack she's getting. But again, that's because of the cachet she has and the accomplishments she's already, you know, have done in the past. So now she doesn't really have to explain herself. You know, she's the GOAT.
And then when you talk about people who's talking about them, like for Naomi Osaka, for instance, you got people talking about her saying, "Oh, she has enough time to get Barbie dolls and light torches, but she can't, you know, do X, Y, and Z." And those people that are saying that, they've never done anything in their life. They're talking about somebody who's done something, but they've never done anything. You know, that's the whole thing. We can talk about sports every day and we can have our critique about players and stuff like that. But when it comes to the person, like you criticize the person, we got to be way more sensible and creative than just disrespecting people. And we're talking about people doing things that we can't do, right?
Exactly.
And some of the things that we've done it. We try to internalize what we've done, but the bottom line is they're professional athletes, right? Mm-hmm. And all we're doing is talking about them. Like they're creating a platform for us.
Yeah,
not vice versa.
That's right.
So that's just pretty much how it goes down, you know.
Yeah. And to that point, in terms of, you know, these sports writers and the established, you know, sports community, the establishment, you know, where white is the default, right? And the talking points and the narratives that are created are to always reinforce white as the default. So us as African Americans, we have to be very careful about the narratives that we adopt and we parrot, because, you know, in the bigger picture, it's to our detriment as a people.
Absolutely.
It keeps us back as a whole.
Yep, it's to our detriment because we start to hurt each other.
Yeah.
And they want, that's exactly the narrative that they want, us hurting each other. So they put one of us out there to do the dirty work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Herschel Walker.
Yes.
They put one of us out there to do their dirty work. So Herschel Walker is running, well, I don't know if it's official, but there was talk about him running for Senate in Georgia to go against Warnock.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Warnock was just a temporary seat.
Yeah.
A special election, and now there's another election coming up where, and you know, the problems with Georgia and the voter suppression and the changing of the laws and all that stuff. So they're running Herschel Walker as the Black Republican.
Yeah.
To see if they could sway that Black voting population.
Yep.
Well, come to find out about Herschel Walker, did you know he was diagnosed with multiple personality disorder?
He's bipolar.
Nah, it's more than bipolar. It's more than bipolar. He's got it's like a bunch of different personalities, documented personalities going on. He flipped out, tried to kill his wife in 2002, stalked her. It's on record. He's been, you know, arrested, and like he's got like really, really severe issues. But again, to borrow a word from Cliff, they will pick any one of us with a little bit of celebrity, popularity, and fame to parade in front of those who don't know, you know. And we got to be careful about the narratives we follow and who's connected to who's generating.
Well, that's kind of what they do in all aspects. I mean, let's go back to, I mean, it's not politics, but we don't have a political show, but just the fact that they selected Sarah Palin because they felt that people wanted to see a woman. So they just grabbed a woman and say, we have a woman too. So they do that in all types of scenarios. They put somebody out there to speak for everybody else. And the bottom line is we have to be smarter than that. Just put it that way. We just have to be smarter.
Yeah. JT said, Georgia is a Republican state. Georgia was a Republican state. But what we've shown in the last election is that if African Americans, Black people, people of color, more, whoever you are, how you want to, once we're activated and engaged and we do what we have to do, Georgia's a blue state, not a red state.
Yeah, most of your states with like with big cities like Houston. They said Texas is a red state, but people in Texas don't vote, and Houston has the most Democrats or black people out there. It's like, I mean, tons. And they got engaged this year, and the deficit was way smaller than it had been historically. So is this a matter of engagement? Is not really, because most of the time these states that are called red states, they just win all these little small pockets of a state. But the metropolis, all the cities always go one way.
Yeah. Again, this is not a politics show, but gerrymandering, all that stuff. You got to calculate all that stuff into the mix when we talk. But anyway, I brought up Herschel Walker because he's a former football great in NFL great. So while we're on the NFL, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. He's back in Green Bay for at least one more year. So how do you think that's going to play out in the long run?
Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. He's a great quarterback, but he has his issues too. And Aaron Rodgers likes attention. That's one of his biggest issues. And I think if he had his druthers, he probably would have got out of Green Bay a long time ago, so he can have that stardom that he really wants and played somewhere else where he felt like he could be more visible, and be more like him, be more himself. Because I think he really craves for the attention. But he is a good player. I think Green Bay is going to play well this year. They're going to be right in the mix, and he's going to be a candidate for most valuable player again. And we'll see what happens after this. I don't think he's going to retire, but because I think he wants to really play somewhere else.
I think he wants to win a chip and prove that he is that guy, especially after seeing Tom Brady do what he just did last year. But that last game that Green Bay played, remind me again who they played against, please.
They played Tampa.
They played in a championship game where he didn't run for it on fourth down, where he should have went to the Super Bowl.
Right. Now to that point, Aaron Rodgers checked out. On those last two plays, Aaron Rodgers checked out. How come he doesn't get criticized? Aaron Rodgers threw that game. Aaron Rodgers trying to make a point to LaFleur through that game. When you look at it again, dude, why didn't you run it in? Why'd you just those last two plays just don't sit well with me? And I guess he thought it was another down, or no, they kicked.
They didn't talk about the fact that on fourth down he was going to kick it, and in his mind he says that he thought he had fourth down, which he didn't. So that third down, he tried to squeeze that ball in where the whole right side was open, where he would have scored. But he says in his mind he thought he was going to have fourth down. When he did through the incompletion, they kicked the field goal. So to me, I think Aaron Rodgers lost that last game of the season. I mean,
that was a mental lapse.
That was absolutely a mental lapse. That was now again he trying to defend it by saying he thought he had another down, and then. Obviously,
that's a mental lapse. There's no defense either. I think he was actually trying to make a point. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I never thought about it that way, but I would have to lean on your side on that one, Hawk. Because that's the type of person he is.
Well,
that's what got what's the face up out of there is that Aaron Rodgers wanted to run the show. A lot of times people just not Favre, the coach that's in Dallas right now.
McCarthy.
Like the friction with them was, McCarthy would call a play. Aaron Rodgers would be like, "We're not running that. We're running something else." or he would throw the ball out of bounds because I'm just not running that. Like he's that type. I'm not running that. And what we're hearing is that Aaron Rodgers wants more input into the offense. He's upset because he doesn't have the control he thinks he needs to have, which leads me to believe, especially in that NFC Championship game, is there was miscommunication or some discrepancy between what Favre wanted and what LaFleur wanted, and Brett Favre was trying to prove a point, and he played himself because he didn't have that down he thought he had. That's what I think happened.
Well, yeah, and it could be accurate, but you speak of control, Hawk. That's what Aaron Rodgers has now. Because, again, if you look at how everything has transpired over this offseason. I was definitely one of the ones not thinking Aaron Rodgers was going to come back. Okay, because basically what he's done is he's aired his, without publicly saying how disgruntled he has been with the organization, and he said he wasn't coming back. He didn't do anything. He didn't speak no Packers all off season. He didn't show up for anything. He did his own thing. And then 2 days before training camp,
reality sets in.
Well, a day before training camp, where now, and this is the first year where when you're penalized, when you're fined, it's unforgiven. They cannot refund that. So that day he shows up, and now all these concessions are. Aaron Rodgers is now running the show in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is now the GM, the quarterback, and assistant coach.
No, he's not. What he is he's a placekeeper for 1 year until we assess what's up with Jordan Love, or we can go after somebody else to move you around. You got 1 more year. Good. You're an asshole. Out of here after next year. Watch.
Yeah, I don't think he can run the show in Green Bay, and that's part of the problem in Green Bay is because they don't have ownership. And so the GM is pretty much runs the show because that's run by the fans. I mean, pretty much they play stake into the Green Bay Packer ownership. So it's the coach and then it's the GM. And the GM and Brett Favre don't get along. So I don't really think he has as much power as we think he has, or he thinks he could have, because it's a different dynamic in Green Bay.
Yeah, well, the city of Green Bay is the ownership.
Oh, it's the owner. There's no owner.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So
right.
How much power do you think Gutekunst have over the team and Aaron Rodgers? He already brought back Randall Cobb. They already conceded that he's going to be now in conversations about the roster, who's being drafted in the whole 9 yards. So what other Aaron Rodgers is running the show?
No, that's saving face. He's got 1 year, and I think Aaron Rodgers has the option. Aaron Rodgers has the option.
He has the option next year.
Yeah, he has the option, right? So he knows he's leaving. They're like, you know what? We'll play along with you for a year. Mm-hmm. We'll make the public, because we got to play this year, and we want to try to win. We want to try.
Can't lose the locker room. I can't even lose a locker room before the season starts. I got to have a season.
But I tell you one thing: Aaron Rodgers better win the Super Bowl, because if Aaron Rodgers don't win the Super Bowl, or if he's not last year's Aaron Rodgers, he just played himself.
Well,
because that's the thing. Like, he better do a Tom Brady this year. He better be Tom Brady. He better. If he gets to the playoffs and does what Aaron Rodgers does, is some mishap, there's some interception, he forced it, he tried to beat somebody that he doesn't go to the Super Bowl and win it, he's not going to be in Green Bay next year, and everybody else is going to be looking at him differently.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, because again, you have to look at it as,
how old is he?
He changed his They had him under contract for the next 3 years after 2 years after this year. So the concessions for him to come into camp was, I want to be able to go wherever I want to go next year. First of all, just to be able to do that is baller. Okay. Second of all, he says, I want to have input on, draft choices, roster moves, who's being cut, how they're being cut, all of that. They conceded that to him. So he has, at least the optics of it, the power to make roster moves. He's the quarterback. The GM just conceded to him by, first of all, allowing him to do whatever he wanted to do this offseason. Then secondly, coming in, chopping off 2 years off of his contract, and they're restructuring it. So all of this is
because we don't want the headache. All right, cool. Let's get him out of here. You keep him content. Like, you know what? Let's just get out of this year. Let's get out of this year.
Yeah, but Hawk, you think Jordan Love is ready? Like, what is their option when they get rid of Aaron Rodgers?
I think that Jordan Love situation, he's playing behind Aaron Rodgers, so it's not like he's playing behind like Fitzpatrick. He playing behind a legend that's not ready to retire. So we don't really know how good Jordan Love can be.
Yes, he is driving that car.
He's playing behind Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because Jordan Love is not ready, and Aaron Rodgers knows that. That's why he have them. They basically are going to do whatever he wants to do all year. Because they're going to want to keep him.
Yo, he better win the Super Bowl or he's just blowing smoke. It's every year. Okay, you're the MVP. You're the best quarterback. Hey, can you win me a Super Bowl? No. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, we just winning Super Bowls. Like, this is a team sport here. It's not the Aaron Rodgers show. It's actually the Green Bay Packers, and the Green Bay Packer brand is way bigger and stronger than Aaron Rodgers. He's just gonna wait. Okay, you got it. I mean, he's clearly top 5 quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
So you're just not gonna move Aaron Rodgers around. You're just not doing that. You don't want to just throw him out, especially if you don't have somebody immediately that's gonna walk in and replace him.
He top 3. I mean, it's Brady, him and Mahomes. Yeah. Those are the best. Those are the 3 best quarterbacks.
Nut said he has a ring, but that was a long time ago. And jokers are watching New England Patriots, and then this dude leaves and goes to Tampa Bay and gets number 7.
Yeah,
like that don't eat like whatever.
Well, how about we talk about the penance that was finally paid after 27 years at the podium in Dallas, Texas.
Oh wow!
When Jerry Jones finally sat there and said in front of the mic, "I effed it up, letting Jimmy go. I effed it up."
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I still don't like you, Jerry, but I feel like the ghost of Jimmy's past can finally leave the building because you let that off. You finally admitted what everybody knows. You messed up years ago. You let that brown alcohol get you.
Dude, they were on the Cowboys were on the road to like a real dynasty. Like we could have did 4 or 5 Super. And this dude, we got 3, not we. Excuse me. The Cowboys got 3.
Yeah,
but they could have got so much more.
Yeah, they were set up. They were set up pretty swell. And he did mess it up, but at least he was able to, before he dies, to say he got that off his chest. Ain't gonna change nothing, but he got it off his chest.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if they could have even worked together, though, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at their relationship and how Jimmy was and how Jerry was. And, Jerry wasn't taking a step back then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he can admit it now, and we all saw it, but could they have really had longevity? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and really
ask yourself that same question in New England, because Bob Kraft and Belichick don't like each other either. But they figured it out because they went to the Super Bowl 10 times together. So Kraft had to take his ego. He liked to be Kraft hanging out with Jay-Z and getting Bentleys and stuff like that. So he liked to be in the limelight just as much as Jerry does. But he let football people handle football. He just go out there and make money. Yeah. So I think that they could have coexisted. Everybody's have to know their lane. And Jerry wanted to be up in Jimmy's lane.
Yeah, but again, Jerry, just because of who he is, just because of their relationship, playing on the same national championship team, in his mind, having,
college
not the same level football IQ.
I heard they didn't like each other, though.
Oh, no.
As college roommates, they didn't like each other. It was only in the same room because of their last name.
Yeah.
Jones
exactly. Because Jimmy thought Jerry was just this, this rich kid, this rich kid.
Yeah.
Jimmy thought Jerry was exactly who Jerry is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, that was very interesting. And it's like after 27 years, you come out and somebody said JT says he's got more to confess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that old greasy geezer.
Well, you heard what he said prior to even shedding those tears. Is that anybody who knows me know I'll do anything on earth to go to another Super Bowl. He said, I will do anything on earth to go to another Super Bowl. I mean,
which means he probably already did it.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
You go every year, dog. You just start participating.
Sometimes it be in your building.
You know, like, you win plenty of Super Bowls. You just not participating anymore. That's it. You know.
So what about this year? You think they got it?
Listen, man. The Cowboys, let me tell you, everybody was like, oh, they on Hard Knocks. That's another jinx. I was like, how you going to jinx a team that's going to go 7-9 anyway? So that's not a jinx. It's like that's just what it is. I mean, it's just the Cowboys. I mean, they sell. That's why Jerry makes all that money. They sell. Cowboys just sell. They don't got to be good. You don't got to be good. It just got to be the Cowboys.
Yo, I want to send a shout out to my boy Elvin Williamson, aka Peanut, aka Jamal Williamson. Yo, Nut, let me know in the comment if you want to come on, man. I'd love to bring you on the show like right now. So if you tell me yeah in the comment, I'll email you the link and you can come on the show right now. We can finish having this football conversation with the vice principal of East Orange High School campus.
Shout out to Nut.
Yeah, former safety for the University of Maine.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? All-state basketball player for the East Orange High School Panthers. And you were hurt senior year because it was rough for me, but I tried to hold it down for you. Just hey man, I'm glad I found the microphone. That's all I can say. Yeah, man. So yeah, let me know, Nut, what you want to do, man. Just tell me yes or no. And what I'll do is, matter of fact, I'll just send it to you now anyway. Hold on, fellas. I'm gonna send this email to Nut, and if he want to hop on, he could just, come on in the feed. I think I got his email address. Jamal, yeah, there you go. Boom. Uh-oh. There we go. So, Nut, I just sent you the link. Why don't you hop up in the building, man, so we can talk football, bro?
Absolutely. I ain't seen Nut in a month of Sundays.
Yeah, man, he's doing good. He's doing good. Got 2 boys. You're raising them up to be men. Got one in college, one on his way. You know what I mean? It's a great world out there for the brothers.
Yeah, small world.
Small world. So for the folks who aren't from Jersey or who aren't from East Orange, the Oranges, a lot of the folks we grew up with played athletics after high school, and so we like to bring them in, keep it a family affair, and get some expertise. We have friends who are high school coaches, college coaches. You saw with Brandon Knight, and then Brev went on to play, for the NBA. So we just try to keep that family feel, but with folks who are knowledgeable about, sports, athletics.
You got to be knowledgeable about it. We just can't have everybody up on this one.
Can't have everybody up here, and we're waiting for a coach, doctor.
Enough. The 3 of us are up here, so that's enough.
Yeah. But
so, Cliffy, what do you think about Chris Rizzo going to the Yankees?
Listen,
Uncle Split.
We got Rizzo, we got Gallo too, and both of them left-handed pop, and we need that. We really need that, especially. I don't know if you saw, we got blown out 14-0 today.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, baby. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know. so that will definitely bring some. And our pitchers, Kluber's coming back soon. We have some arms coming. I don't know if you watched yesterday's game, but Cortez, he's a young starter.
Yep.
So
I like
him. The Yankees.
I like. So Jermaine Croon, is that official? Is it official yet? Because I've been hearing the same thing all day. It was between Westbrook or Buddy Hield, and they said the Westbrook thing was a done deal. They just had to give the draft pick situation right, which I think is a horrible fit for the Lakers. Horrible.
I don't know about that one right there, gentlemen. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it seems like a mismatch, but it's Westbrook, and again, now it's the league of the big 3. So everybody just trying to get a big 3 together.
Yeah, but that's a horrible and it's not horrible because of Westbrook. It's horrible because there's a lot of pieces to that. Like is that the personalities do not match. LeBron is not gonna be able to tell him to go stand in the corner and shoot threes. Westbrook is not going to listen to that. Vogel's not going to be able to coach that. It's too much, man. Those personalities are just too off base for me, for the Lakers. Westbrook is not a fit, and I love Westbrook.
I love Westbrook's energy, his fire, his drive, his tenacity, but his decision making is questionable.
Yeah,
lots of the time, and his style of play can be extremely frustrating. And that Anthony Davis, I don't know. Anthony's just glass man. He's glass man. So it's like, I don't know.
I'm trying to a bit. This helped me out on this because I've been watching Westbrook play for a long time. Well, since UCLA, right? Mm-hmm. And, when he came to the pros, they had some success early, right? And they ended up getting to the finals against LeBron and D Wade, right? And if people don't remember, I'm gonna remind them that Westbrook was the best player on the court outside of who LeBron got the MVP, but Westbrook was the best player on the court on Oklahoma City, the whole series, right? Mm-hmm. So then we fast forward to they get back to the finals against the Western Conference Finals against Golden State, and they up 3-1, and they lose game 5 because they as a team they lost 112 to 109, and as a team they messed up. But then game 6, Durant kind of had a fart game, and in game 7 they got blown out, right? They got beat. Mm-hmm. So then the narrative became all of a sudden that because Durant let everybody run with it because he didn't want to take the blame, that nobody could play with Westbrook. So now you're playing by yourself for 3 years. You make the playoffs, but you ain't got nobody on your squad. And your decision making is questionable because you don't got nobody on your squad. Mm-hmm. Then you get PG to play with you, and PG is still a little tentative in the big moment at that time. He leaves, and it continues the narrative that nobody can play with Westbrook, right? So then he goes to Houston, and for me, you can't blame him for James Harden. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it, and I just need y'all help with that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I could recall, exact examples, but I just know there's been plenty of times watching Westbrook where I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you driving? Why are you shooting that 3? Why don't you pull the ball out? Why don't you set up an offense? He's just so run and gun all the time that it just gets a little bit, hectic and erratic.
No, I get it. No, but I think that a lot of his, he's a narrative type of person that we look at it, but we look at his circumstances. I don't think that the narrative fits the circumstances. That's just my opinion. Scott Brooks is not a good coach. Never was, never will be. And it's kind of hard to coach a player like that because we watch somebody who passed away that had the same type of mentality. We watch somebody in AI that had the same type of mentality. They finally ran into coaches that can harness that energy, and they became champions. Westbrook has not found a coach that can handle him yet. I think that's his biggest problem. He got to be coached. He just got to be coached. That's it. And I think he's coachable with the right person. And I think Frank Vogel.
No, it's maybe that's LeBron.
That's what it did. I think that's what they're trying to, put in LeBron's hands. Maybe they could cage that energy and point it in the right direction and utilize it for the betterment of their squad. Because first of all, they're getting rid of three players and a draft pick supposedly to get him. Yeah. So you gotta now look at how do they plan to build that team with that 3 as a core? Because to me it just seems disjointed. It seems like a mismatch. AD with LeBron and with but if you have a certain plan, I guess they're gonna try to make it work. But what type of other roster pieces are they gonna put around?
Yeah, I think what the Lakers need to do personally is trade Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell to San Antonio, get DeMar DeRozan, and you go sign Kyle Lowry, because Kyle Lowry He got the same personality as Westbrook, but he's not as athletic. And I think LeBron needs somebody that still has a strong bone in their body as well. And he can't be around people that aren't strong either. So
I would have loved to have seen Kyle Lowry and DeMar Rosen end up in LA with LeBron.
That's what I like. I think that's the best thing they could do.
I think that's dope. I think that's really dope. Like LeBron could finally, not be fucking.
We're getting feedback. You got feedback on your side?
Nah.
I'm hearing feedback on this my side. Wait.
Yeah. Check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Watch you, Cliff. Am I clear on your end, Cliff?
There, it went away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry knows how to run an offense.
Mm-hmm.
And with DeMar DeRozan, with LeBron, he could really now, take some time off and know that the team.
Yeah, it's kind of like when he had Rondo, right? He has somebody with the ball that's gonna make good decisions. I'm a Westbrook fan, but I'm telling you, he's not a fit in LA. I just think that fit. Like, there's other places I think he could go, but that's not the place. DeRozan and Lowry in LA.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
They can do that. Even though Jermaine's saying he thinks he's going to the Heat. I heard that too.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle Lowry, and I know that's not going to happen, but Kyle Lowry and DeMar Rosen in LA, I think would be great for AD. Absolutely. That would be great for AD. Yeah, man.
I would love that. That's a pickup that I thought would be hot. Like I like Buddy Hield. I think that's a good move, but you still got to go get a point guard, and you got to get a point guard that LeBron trusts. You can't just even Lonzo Ball, bringing him back. Is Lonzo ready up here? You got to have a point guard that LeBron will just back up and let that point guard do his thing. That's what you got to have. You can't have a guy that's gonna play to LeBron or hit it to him. You can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, so who are some other point guards out there that might fit in LA? Because they need a point guard. Well, I guess that was Fugazi. They got rid of Caruso, or they were thinking about trading Caruso. And
Caruso's a free agent.
He's a free agent?
Yeah, and he has people that's after him.
Oh, that was Matt Fugazi.
Yeah. Well, the package they're talking about is Harold, C. Caldwell Pope, and take this Caldwell Pope and Kuzma.
Yeah.
With the first round pick for Westbrook.
Yeah, 22nd pick.
Yeah. So.
Damn.
Yep.
I like KCP.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan is KCP on crack. That's like a steroid version of KCP, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, exactly right. You're exactly right. Yeah.
That's why I like that. That's why I like that pickup. Somebody that can his own.
Who has an ill mid-range game.
Yeah.
But isn't he a max player?
He's a max player in San Antonio.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But they're talking about signing trades and matching. That's why Kuzma and Trez and Caldwell Pope's salaries match up to his salary.
Yeah.
I like that. I like Kemba. I like Kemba coming. I think Kemba would be a good guard for LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't like Kemba in Boston.
Well, I didn't like Kemba in Boston because Brad Stevens never defined everybody's role. Kemba coming to LA, he gonna know what his role is.
Yeah.
Get people in the offense, make some threes when LeBron give you the rock, and play defense. That's real simple. Boston, he didn't have a role because Jaylen Brown, Tatum, nobody knew, and Marcus Smart. Everybody thought they were the closer. Everybody was the closer in Boston, except for but nobody really was.
Yeah.
So it's 6:58. We got 3 minutes for a draft.
7:58. Excuse me.
Yeah.
6:58 on your end.
Yeah.
We got 2 more minutes for the draft. The NBA draft kicks off live and direct. You guys got it up streaming? I know my delay. I'm behind you guys, so I get things in.
I'll have it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But
have it up in 2 seconds.
I don't. I think it'll be anticlimactic. I mean, I think Cade Cunningham, he's going first, and then I think Jalen Green is going to go second, and is it the Gonzaga kid? So,
The point guard.
yeah,
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, that's the third. That's gonna be the third pick.
Scruggs.
Yes, yeah, Shrugs. Yeah, I think I know you're talking. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Or actually, they're talking about Evan Mobley, the
big guy
for USC. Yeah,
yeah. Chris Bosh Jr. That's what I call him.
yeah.
Chris Bosh, 2021.
Wow.
We got a game like that.
But I think besides Cade, who's it's the talent is there, but I don't think there's any perennial all-stars coming out this year.
Yeah,
Could be wrong, but
I like Cade Cunningham. He's nice. I like Shrugs. I like Scuggs. I like him too. It's just gonna be. It's all about fit in the NBA, and if you don't get into the right situation, you're just not gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, and that's for everybody. It doesn't matter which team, who you are, as even a superstar. You don't get the right fit, you're not gonna win. Yep.
My sleeper of the draft is Davion Mitchell, the kid out of Baylor. I think whoever gets him is going to get a ready-made pro. I mean, I think he's going to come in doing his thing.
That's a good call right there.
What's up, Coach?
What's happening, gentlemen? How y'all this evening?
How you doing, Coach?
Great.
How you doing?
Man.
Good.
Yeah, we got Dr. Coach E, Dr. Coach Eric Harriel, back in the building with us on IZM Sports. You work with high school athletes. You've seen, a lot of youngsters come up through the ranks and make it to the NBA. So we thought of no one better to have this discussion than with you, and with your knowledge and understanding of what to look out for. Figure we can maybe get to the top 10 and discuss, what's happening, what we expect to happen, and what has happened as it happens. So,
all right, sounds good to me.
Coach, I'm happy to see your face because I was having this discussion with a high school friend of mine this evening before I got on the show, and we were just talking about some of the ingredients that go into a basketball player, and him and I have this conversation quite frequently, and he's the only person that I could talk to, but I have a funny feeling you the second person I could talk to, and it's got this feeling, right? So we were just talking about why we measure the extremities in terms of athletes, especially basketball, right? But why we never really measure above the neck and under the shirt. Like when you bring that up, everyone gets you lose your audience. It's a taboo. You can't say it. It's not correct. But we're not NBA players, right? But everybody played the game. Competition. You just already know from here above who's strong, and from here inside there who don't got it, right? So when it comes to these athletes these days, we just can't. Every time we bring that part up, it's like a taboo. We can't say that. Like I said, you lose your audience.
I mean, when you think about, go back maybe three years when they did the mock draft for this class. Mm-hmm. Some of the individuals that were in the top 10 lottery for that mock draft are not the draft board at all now. But that mock draft at that time was based on just what you're talking about: the extremities, their length, their athleticism, their combine score, so to speak, on certain athletic tests. Mm-hmm. But then those same young men went to college, mm-hmm. or they went to the G League, and you find that they don't necessarily have the IQ, they don't have the work ethic, they don't have that just what I call Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
You know, where that kid who wasn't ranked or who wasn't in that mock draft goes to college, works their tail off because they haven't been coddled. They haven't been, you know, they weren't entitled to anything. And tonight, they're part of the mock draft and they're sitting at the Barclays Center. And so you're right. And it's ironic that in basketball, we don't talk about the IQ. You hardly hear it at all. Or really the toughness, that aspect, where that's almost relegated to football. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's interesting you bring that up. But yeah, I think that's key because when you get to this level, everybody can run, everybody can jump. Of course, there's the outliers that separate. But it is about it's about the heart. It's about the neck up. You know, that's how you're going to sustain yourself and make it, because the athleticism goes away.
400 people in the NBA. I mean, there's 450 guys in the NBA, and I think historically, I think there's been 2,000 people in the NBA, which goes to show you that those spots they don't change often, right? No. So there has to be more than what we're just talking about, because there's millions of athletes out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and look, we've all seen some great ones in our own communities, mm-hmm. In our neighborhoods. I know they could play in the league, but they don't have that other component that is mm-hmm. necessary. And look, we see some kids who might be at Kentucky or Carolina who don't have it, yeah. You know, who fall by the wayside. Yeah, and you know, it's key that the IQ and that toughness. And the toughness, you know, Wes, is something now we're going to see even more so, because we're seeing how toughness affects athletes now. Mm-hmm. You know, we've seen it with Simone. We've seen it with Naomi. But before that, we saw it with Kyrie. Yeah. Kyrie was actually the first one to say, you know what, I need a mental health day.
Yeah.
That was frowned upon, and I'll leave that up to HAKIM to tell us why that was frowned upon, him being an African-American male, and other ones are saluted. But we're not going to get into that. But
yeah,
you know,
Kevin Love was saluted for him coming out.
Yeah. So you know, I think we're going to see that more and more now, mm-hmm. because I think the mental aspect of these athletes, the stress, the pressure that they go through, is going to play a role in their financial compensation mm-hmm. moving forward, and how they're looked upon as being stars.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I just felt like draft night was the perfect night to really talk about that, because it's always it's never about I think that's an intangible, and when you're drafting someone and making an investment, you need to know everything about that person. Not just can he jump over this, can he jump 40 feet? I mean, 40 inches. You know, you gotta have a little bit more than that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Can I add one right fast?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, the Kyrie situation.
I know I could beat you, HAKIM.
Yeah. So it's like, do they get paid for the Olympics? Did she get paid?
Yes, you do. You do get paid.
You get a stipend or something? You get a little stipend, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when you talk, like, if you sign a contract with somebody to do something, like, live out your contract. Unless it's just so drastic, but live out your contract. Like, just contract.
Yes, sir.
We got an agreement. You're supposed to play these games. People try to pay a ticket mm-hmm. to come see you, and you agreed to do it.
But this is where I gave her some slack. Actually, you know, it's no spectators at the Olympics, so she didn't have to worry about that.
Well, no. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors.
Oh yes,
right. That, you know, when you're up on a balance beam upside down, flipping, and your mind ain't right, you could break your neck.
You definitely could break your neck and be paralyzed.
Yeah, you can break your neck. Like, so it's like, it's not, you don't want to see somebody, go ahead and tough it through. And you shaky on a balance beam. You shaky on a, I'm trying to do the triple, what's my man, Roddy Dangerfield?
The triple Lindy.
Do a triple Lindy. Your mind ain't right. You know what I mean? You know what? That last flip I just did, I thought of something I shouldn't have been thinking about as I'm spinning in the air. That's different. That's a little different.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. The sports and that she is participating in is completely different. But I would have liked to see the media support Kyrie when he took what basically was a PTO day, which we all have taken, which we all need from time to time. I wish he would have gotten that same support, when he did it. And I don't think he was given that.
Kyrie has other luggage that is not even his fault.
Right.
The minute that he didn't want to play with LeBron no more, that was when he became public enemy number one. That was That was his first mistake.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You're getting into the weeds now with it. See, I don't think people.
I know you start to lose your audience when you get into the weeds, though.
Yeah, you get into the weeds. Yeah.
You funny dude. JT said facts. What you saying facts to, JT? What's the facts about? Facts on what?
Well, Kyrie has a history of questionable behavior. Therein lies the issue why he couldn't be at the forefront of mental health and the importance of it as far as athlete is concerned. Because he doesn't carry the cachet like they do, and his name it basically is sullied because of his questionable actions in the past.
I guess I asked you this though, Cliff. When did those questionable things happen? They happened after.
No.
It was all after he made a decision.
No. He made a decision and then he went to Boston and made another decision. And then went to Brooklyn and made another decision.
That's my point. You answered my question because this is all after he came out and said he didn't want to play somewhere no more. That's when all his problems started. That's what I'm saying. He became questionable as a player and as a person in decision making after he made that one decision.
No. When he said the earth was flat, that's
another story. That's not basketball related.
But still, no. But it's a part of the whole conversation, and no one ever said his basketball was questionable. No one ever says Kyrie's basketball.
Never.
It's his decision making because he goes and takes stances on things, and then that's not a stance no more. Like flat earth, like even the LeBron thing. Like he got to Boston, was like, you know what? I might have bugged out. I think like he said that. I was him owning it. You know what? Now that I'm in Boston, I see what it is. Yeah, I might have bugged out. But then he's the greatest basketball guard in the nobody's questioning that.
Yeah.
It's just that when he makes other stands, you're like, all right, am I gonna get egg on my face if I stand behind this guy? Where Simone Biles, she's been the best at what she does for how long now? 15 years?
At least, let me see. We first saw
at least 10.
At least 10, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be at least 10.
Yeah.
At least 10.
It's been 2 Olympics, right?
2 Olympics.
Before this one.
Like the rigors of
she's 24, right?
She's 24.
So yeah, she's been on the scene
at least 10 years.
Yeah. 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And when you talk about, gymnastics, that's just a place that's not really an African-American sport.
Yep.
And she went through that whole
We talked about this.
Sexual abuse.
Oh, that's right. We didn't bring that up.
Yeah. You're talking about all of those allegations.
That's a huge factor. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
So and then most recently she was literally crowned the GOAT. Like, when they give you an emoji, you're on a different level.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, not only do I applaud her for taking the stance, but I think she should have just gone in there and said, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. I don't think she needed to make a statement of, my mental health, where I was. You know what? I'm good. That's it. And we would have to accept that. And now I want to change gears a little bit and just talk about. I don't know if y'all have the draft on, but Jalen Green is officially looking like he was in DeBarge in 19.
Yeah, he looks like Billy Vanilli right now. I think he's gonna come out and grab a mic, and there's gonna be a Jackson 5 concert. He's
really taking it back. Him and Jalen Suggs are really they real glittery right there.
They're bringing light skin back. Is that what you're trying to say?
And your boy Evan Mobley.
The light skin's back, baby.
Hey, light skin's back.
You saw in the playoffs, that light skin is back. We had Trey and Booker. Light skin is back.
Light skin, yeah.
Clay, Steph, Trey, Booker. That's the 5 right there.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Oh man, the future of the NBA is light skin, man. I'm telling you.
Honorable mention to Mike Bibby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the original.
He's coaching y'all though. He's coaching y'all now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's
coaching that team.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. So who's a sleeper pick, Coach? You think in this draft?
When I came on, I heard Cliff mention Davion Mitchell, who I agree with.
Great call. Yep.
But here's one. Trey Murphy out of UVA. I think I don't think anybody ever thought, first of all, he would even be in this draft.
Yep.
But now looking like he will be a first round pick somewhere in the teens, possibly.
I'm looking at ESPN. They got him at 18.
Yeah. So you're talking about a kid who just really surprised a lot of people, I think, in workouts and I know y'all watch basketball. And I don't think any of y'all are tuning into UVA games when they're on. Like, I got to see that. That's going to be something special. But one thing I think they do is develop excellent, all-around, fundamentally sound ball players, which will always have a place in the NBA. Like, and I compare it to what Duke used to produce. Those guys who would be in the league just for a long time. They just be on teams. Before they, went to the one and done kids. I think that's what UVA is producing now. Just solid ball players who know how to play that make teams better. Speaking about that IQ thing again, Wes, and they're tough. They play because they have to play defense at UVA. They're hard-nosed, mentally and physically tough kids. So I think he's a big sleeper in this draft.
Well, we go back to what you just said again, though. But those players that go to UVA and they have that toughness and go to these great schools and become really good citizens and good players in the NBA, they don't get picked because of the things we're talking about. Those extremity people, all those other people that take those spots, and then they get labeled as. Why were they in school for 3 years or 4 years? If they were good, they would have been drafted. But you're not good here at 19 to be in the NBA. You need those 3 to 4 years to develop your game, i.e. Trey, my man Hunter from Atlanta, UVA. He went to UVA. He played 2 years, right?
He sat out a year and then he played.
Well, he played for 2, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but he was in school for 3, and that's part of his development process. Yep. And that's right. Those spots that they keep taking away from guys who are actually mature enough to play, and they keep giving them to possibilities, like even I think he's an NBA player. The kid that just played in the Eastern Conference Finals and came back late. Cam Reddish. right?
Mm-hmm.
Cam Reddish is NBA talent, right?
Yeah.
But he was not NBA talent when he got drafted. Let's just be real about it. He definitely had NBA talent, but he's a gamble over a real prospect that might have given you 2 or 3 years in a real good program like a Gonzaga, like a UVA, teams that they have their seniors come back or juniors and they have mature teams. Those guys are what general managers need to start looking at versus losing your job over a guy that's played 6 games like a Kyrie Irving. That's taking a chance, right? 6 games. And nice as heck. We know he can play, but he's not ready up here to play.
I mean, I think the game is going to okay, Russell Westbrook is officially a Laker now.
He's official.
Wow.
It's official.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Since you brought that up, let's hop off on a tangent. What do you think about that, Coach?
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, this is I think it's a couple points here. First, this prolongs your man LeBron's career, Hakeem, a couple years.
3 years.
Because now he does not have to have the ball in his hands at all times. He doesn't have to facilitate the offense, which is good for him. That's going to be better on the wear and tear of his body. That helps him. Now, this is where I don't know if it's going to work. They need someone who can shoot. That's not Russ. I'm hoping the next thing we hear in the next couple of days is that Melo signed, so he could just sit in the corner and just knock down jump shots while Russ is, running rampant up and down the court. This is a tough one. A lot of star power in LA, though. A lot of star power, but it does help. It definitely prolongs LeBron's career.
But does it shorten AD's career?
Well, AD,
you got to run. You got to be on your team with Russ. You better run, bro. You're not gonna get the ball.
Well, that may be good for AD because I think AD needs to run. I think he needs to be in open space. I think when the game is slow is when AD is likely to bump into somebody and get hurt. If he's running around, rim to rim or, even, rim to 3-point line, he can't get hurt. It's when you slow that thing down and,
I thought the stop and go on the knees was kind of.
I don't even know if it's so much his knees as it is his
everything.
I was about to be with Wes and be like, it's just here at this point. Like
AD, right?
AD, yeah.
It's AD's situation, I think, has to do with his work ethic.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is. He's a great player. Yep. I mean, he's a freak of nature, but when you think about what Giannis does, AD should be able to do that with that jump shot. Like he should be doing everything Giannis does, but better because he's a point guard by nature. He was a guard before, so he has all those traits to be a guard. But Giannis is a little stronger above the neck. That's just, and it's not about being tougher. Giannis has a better work ethic than he does. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about being smarter.
Yeah,
it's Giannis wants it. He goes after it a different way, and he wants to work on his weaknesses.
It's what you do in the off season that matters more.
Your thought process.
Your thought process is investing $1 million in your body and training and therapy and rehab and a dietitian and doing things.
But above the neck is not always just your mental playing style. Is how you go about your life.
Your lifestyle.
Yeah. It's the habits you build.
It's your habits.
It's how you go about your business.
Yeah.
And we clearly see how AD goes about his business, but we hear it too because that's what everybody's saying. He's not working on his game. He's feeling himself. He's not really working hard over the summer, not really improving. He was all over the fact that they're champions now. No more work to be done.
Yeah, he doesn't work on his body and take care of it the way he needs to. And if he does that, then he'll be fine.
Yeah,
You know,
I think he'd be great if he does it. And the thing about it, he can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can change the narrative just like that. You just have to do it, and they're all capable. They have the resources to do it.
Beyond belief.
It's just really up to him.
Yeah, but
let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question. If you have the greatest player in the world, who we know takes care of his body better than anyone else, at your disposal, and you don't take the opportunity to utilize that resource, doesn't that say everything about your mental?
Says a lot. It speaks volumes.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's unfortunate, but that's what the Lakers are right now. You know, that like he needs to be their number one. He's got to be the number one, but he's the mentality is not there. You know, he's not ready to
it's going to be a telltale sign as to how he comes back after this offseason. Because again, if you don't come back after a hard offseason of working, improving, a concerted effort to take care of your body, to be as healthy as you can, and all that other stuff, then we know what he's about, and everybody else is going to know, and I think that's when the questions are really going to be geared towards him.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point, Cliff. Yep.
It's going. I think it's a good trade. I'm looking forward to the next trade being Colin Sexton. I think that's coming.
I like him.
That would be dope.
I like him a lot. Sexton. Yeah. I'm hoping he comes to the Knicks, to be honest. Think that'd be pretty nice for the Knicks.
Yeah. Colin Sexton has that attitude too that you can't, like, again, that the attitude is what you can't teach. You just gotta channel it and coach it and nurture it.
As my man, I call him Champagne PJ now, as he said, gotta have them dogs. Colin Sexton's a dog. And
when you look at LA's team right now, well, not right now, like last year, right? Well, it's like they didn't have a dog on their squad last year.
They didn't have a dog at all.
Rondo was the dog the year before. Rondo was the dog. They didn't have one, right? So the year that
Trez.
And Trez, well, Trez is not a dog because he wasn't on the court. So Rondo was on the court.
They muted Trez.
They muted him. That wasn't his fault. Now Trez is a dog, Cliff, but Frank Vogel considered him something else. But when they won the championship, Rondo was the dog on that squad.
Yeah.
And they need. I'm hoping that Westbrook could at least be that. But
he will be that dog. You're right. He will be that dog.
He's gonna be it. But the problem is, Rondo had a ring. He had a collar. Ooh. Like LeBron had a collar. So when you don't have a collar, he's a stray dog. He's not a house pet. So what the difference is, it takes a lot to take instruction from somebody who's been astray.
You like the weeds, Wes. You like the weeds. That is real. Especially when going back to the mental, when you have a player who may not have a certain mentality, which AD we can see so far is one of, he's gonna be like, Russ, I got a ring. What you saying, Russ?
And that's gonna frustrate Russ.
Yeah. And the difference between, I think, Russ and Rondo, even further to expand upon your point, is everybody knew not only did Rondo have a ring, but Rondo would punch you in the face as a teammate. I think Russ would too, but he doesn't have that leverage of having a ring.
That jewelry.
But Rondo, like the way he plays is to put other people in place. Yeah. Like he's maneuvering, he's seeing the game and helping people fit into what the system is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Russ is like, nah. All right, well, you ain't there. All right, cool.
I agree with that. I think that Russ does that too. When he has those around him to do that. and he trusts. He did it when he had KD.
Have that.
You know,
yep.
When he had KD and James Harden, he did it. In Washington, who you gonna trust
besides
Bill? OKC after they got rid of everybody.
I'm not talking about trusting. I'm not talking about trusting. Like I'm talking about Rondo is going into it thinking I'm trying to get everybody in place.
Involved, yeah.
I'm not trying to score a triple-double. I'm not trying, even though Russ is a walking triple-double, I'm not saying he's trying to score triple-double. Just the way he's playing, you know, it's like it leaves other pieces to figure it out for themselves.
It looks more strategic when Rondo does it. Whereas I think when Russ does it, it's just like he's just out there. And if he so happens to get an assist, great. But he's not directing you so he can get that assist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we act like we haven't seen that before. We've seen that before. Allen Iverson was the same thing.
Yeah.
He got assists out of necessity, not because he wanted to. You know,
how many
he was
rings
playing by himself. No, he didn't have any rings, but I'm saying he took a nobody. He had nobody on the squad. I mean, he's a person that had nobody.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Aaron McKee
and Eric Snow. You know.
Yeah, Dikembe.
And Tyrone Corbin. Not Tyrone Corbin. What was his name? Tyrone Hill.
Yes.
Tyrone Hill. But we've seen it before. And again, AI was unattractive to a lot of people till AI became just a culture. AI got the sneaker and the swag and the dress, and he was a rebel. So it went with that. Russ does the same thing. And we've seen other people be rebels like that, and people don't. That's not normal, right? Because everyone else falls in the same category, vanilla category. When you paint outside the lines, everybody looking at you like, hey, you painting outside the lines.
Yep.
That's how I look at Russ. Like, I just think he just needs to be, you know, he doesn't make great decisions. I don't think there's a comparison between him and Rondo. Rondo is definitely a chess player with the basketball, clearly.
Yeah,
but,
and Russ is a speed checker player.
And he's a speed checker player. He want to king me. That's right.
Hey, I mean, speaking of Rondo, and no one, you know, I've talked to a lot of coaches, basketball people. What happened this year in the playoffs where they didn't play him for the Clippers? We never heard about an injury.
I didn't know about that either. Like, I don't know.
It just seemed like they couldn't get their rotation straight with Reggie Jackson and who was the other guard they had? They had Beverly. Yeah. It just seems they couldn't get that rotation with those three. And then when Rondo never really stepped up. I mean,
you know, I would give credit to Reggie Jackson in this situation, right?
He
started balling. He stepped up, and I think that Rondo was an insurance policy for Reggie Jackson, and then Reggie Jackson actually showed up, and Rondo became expendable. I don't really think it was so much Rondo. I just think Reggie Jackson he was balling, and he could shoot, and he was making good plays for others. So he was out there actually playing Reggie Jackson stepped up. Like,
you know, I thought Reggie Jackson played well. And, you know, I'm not a Pat Beverly fan. I would have preferred they played Pat Beverly. Rondo over Pat Beverly.
Yeah.
I think that would have given a different tone and complimented Reggie Jackson, I think, even more so.
Well, to that point, because I'm not a Pat Bev fan either. However, his defense is dynamic, bro. Like this last playoff run, he did a hell of a job playing D'ing up, you know.
On who though?
Talking about Chris Paul. You talking about?
Chris Paul had great games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did.
Here's the thing with Patrick Beverly. It looks good. He does. He has the histrionics. He's going to dive on the floor. He's going to clap his hands in your face. He's going to.
And I don't like that style of play. I think it's annoying.
But when you look at the scorebook,
disruptive.
You look at the scorebook at the end. Chris Paul had 30 points, or Devin Booker had 40 points. And you're like, damn, I thought Patrick was really playing D on him.
Mm-hmm.
It looked good. And look, man, you from EO. You've been in the park where that dude was clapping and slapping the ground and felt like he D'ing him up. He D'ing him up.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, dude, bucket after bucket. That's Patrick Beverly to me.
Point.
I always feel like Patrick Beverly is the type, like that guy that, like you said, some of it is like the fake, not the fake. He hustles. I'm not gonna say that's hustle, right?
It's real.
It's real. It's real hustle. But the other stuff that he does as a player, you're always wondering when it's gonna happen, which gives Patrick Beverly an advantage because you're always wondering when he's gonna do the foolishness. He's playing good D now, but when is he gonna do something that's foolish? And you always apprehensive against him. So he looks a little better defensively because of your apprehension, because you already know the dum-dum is coming soon.
Yeah.
You already know it. You already know it's coming. And so you're like, oh my God. But yeah, I'm not a Beverly fan either. I thought he showed us exactly who he was in that last game, pushing somebody in the back. And
But versus a Rondo,
But Rondo has a history against Chris Paul too.
That's why I would have played him. That's exactly what I'm betting on, that history.
Yeah.
That Chris Paul is going to lose it, because Chris Paul will lose it.
That's the one that could have got under his skin, because Rondo's not dirty. Rondo just they don't like each other.
Right.
Well, I mean, Pat Bev is a piss in that game, like that series. He undercut him. He was doing a lot of borderline dirty stuff, but he's like, damn, he plays hard as hell. Can't front his effort. Yeah. I would have played Rondo because of the history.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what happens there. I can try it out. I have nothing to lose. Kawhi is already out. Everybody figured we're gonna lose this series now anyway. So, hey, let's throw some against the wall, see what sticks.
Exactly.
What do you think Kawhi is gonna do this coming year? Or in the future, the short future after? Think he stays in LA or?
I think he stays.
I think he ends up staying. I don't know. He's hard to call, but I think his best place is to probably stay right where he is.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to be trying to be taking recruiting trips on crutches, to be honest with you. Remember, he picked his destination in LA. You know what I'm saying? And we all saw what we saw too. If Kawhi was playing, LA is in the finals. You know what I'm saying? They beat Phoenix with Kawhi. So, I'm sure he's probably thinking we can probably, make another run at it.
They do.
If I'm Kawhi, though, and I don't think anybody needs to take a recruiting trip for this, I'm just going to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to Miami. I'm getting with Jimmy Butler, and we can win the East, or not necessarily win, but we'd be right there in the East, with Brooklyn and Milwaukee.
And then all the superstars leave the West and go to the East and leave LeBron in the West. Ain't that crazy?
Well,
ain't that crazy?
You've seen it before when everybody went from the East to the West. And he just had, a 10-year stretch of just going to the finals.
Yeah. Suggs just went 5th, and Cade Cunningham went 1. They got
so Cunningham is to Detroit.
Yeah. Suggs went to Orlando. I forgot who went. Someone went to Cleveland.
Did Green go to Houston?
Yeah, Green is in Houston.
Yeah, Green is in Houston.
Yeah. I think Mobley went to Cleveland. I think.
I'm surprised Suggs has dropped this far.
He went 5th.
Which isn't a far drop. I can't even believe I'm saying that. But I thought he would have been top 3.
Well, Scotty Barnes was that pick that went ahead of him.
Scotty Barnes.
Questionable. Who took him? Was it the Raptors? Yeah, the Raptors took him at 4.
Yeah, Raptors took him at 4.
And I thought the Raptors would have taken Suggs.
Yeah.
Well, Oklahoma City's about to pick now. They're about to pick, but yeah, they took Suggs, went 5, and your boy Cade Cunningham did go 1. And Green.
I'm thinking Boot Knight is going to go to OKC.
Boot Knight?
Yeah, from Connecticut?
Yeah.
So they say the Cade Cunningham is like a Luka Doncic type, huh?
Hey, I don't know if you guys watched the sports shows this morning. Like some of these guys were referring to him as the best in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I was hearing some really,
I'm hearing LeBron. I'm hearing LeBron comparisons. Luka comparisons. I'm like, okay. I don't know if his body of work says that right now.
No. I mean, he was a freshman. He won freshman of the year in the Big Ten, and I watched a lot of college basketball, and he was good, but I don't see him being that good. I mean, it's
what you were saying earlier, Wes, about judging players based
again, like their resume is not even had yet. Like I'm like, again, this is another example of you lose your audience on when I bring up the fact that Jameis Winston had better stats after 5 seasons than Peyton Manning. Everybody look at me like I'm a stupid idiot, like I'm crazy.
Right.
He had better stats after 5 years. Peyton Manning just had a better career. But if we judge him at 5 years, Winston had a better 5 years, even with 30 interceptions, because Peyton Manning had a year with 28. I mean, it's only 2 more. So that's all I'm saying.
Now they just threw a monkey wrench. OKC took Josh Giddey from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid's supposed to be a beast. Young kid.
Yeah, this
he wasn't on the national. Was he on the national team?
I don't think he was on their national team.
Okay.
He's probably too young. They got a bunch of old heads on Australia's team who've been playing for a long time. This is interesting.
You said Josh Giddey?
Yeah. How tall is he?
6'8".
6'8".
Another big guard.
6'8", yeah, skinny. He has handles too.
Yeah, he does. He can handle it. He's a playmaker, so you put him in the backcourt with Shea Gilgeous. Little backcourt there.
He just got to gain a little weight.
Yeah, I think he's just 18. I believe he's youngest in the draft. So,
and that's what Kemba is, right? Because you always got to watch where people are. When people start drafting, you got to think who's there.
Yeah.
And who's not going to be there when it's all said and done. Because Kemba's draft cap. I mean, he's a chip. He can get you more picks, maybe.
Yes. And that salary right now of Kemba's, they probably want to move that. It's what, 36 mil?
Yeah.
They might want to move that salary.
I didn't know Kyrie was born in Australia.
Yes. His father was playing professionally.
Okay.
Over there.
Okay. Now people are stepping up because Kendrick Perkins is that's the first time I might have called him Kendrick Perkins because I always call him KP something. I always give him another name, but he's leading on ESPN in the draft right now. So Kendrick Perkins has done well for himself.
He's very a very smart analyst.
He's got some good stuff with him. He was a little off base with the Bill Russell stuff, but we get it. But yeah, he's not horrible. I think he's pretty good, actually.
This is the pick I'm really interested to see what Golden State does.
We might be picking for somebody.
I just feel like Golden State needs to cut their payroll first of all, and these picks, are going to be instrumental in making that happen.
Remember, I know I was always critic. I didn't like the join ups teams, whatever, the super teams. But I'm gonna apologize to LeBron for this fact. I just thought about it. KD joined a 73-win team. I mean, 73 wins. 73.
Yes.
73.
Yes.
When I was thinking about that, I was sitting there. All I kept saying, he joined up like they did, like they did the same thing. But it was 73 wins.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
After winning the chip the year before.
Yeah, I just thought about it. I was like, when somebody put that in perspective again, it's like, yo, they did have 73 wins when you joined them. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, why would you do that as a competitor? And that's
the ultimate ring hunt move of all time.
Yeah,
that was basically come get this ring.
Yeah.
There's no work to it. Come get this ring. Nobody.
And they had that conversation on the phone with James Harden. He was like, "We go, come on, man. Just me, you, and Reed. We got this. Psh, come on, don't stop us."
Apparently, that's his MO. That's his MO.
But everybody mad at the GOAT.
No, listen. And I'm a critic of the GOAT. I still think it was whack. Because I thought that those are epic battles that him and Dwayne Wade were trying to have at the time. I thought that was great basketball. And then he jumped on and Wade had to show him how to, that was the dog on that championship squad that he won. Dwayne Wade was the dog he had to win with. And I
mean, Dwayne Wade is a dog, man. He already won a chip. Like, he fucking, I mean, he's, you know.
And Kyrie was the dog in Cleveland. Kyrie was the dog in Cleveland.
Yeah. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. Those are the you got to have those guys, man. You got to have those.
So hold on, Wes. What you saying is LeBron has to have a dog with him because he's not a dog himself.
Well, I've been said that. That's not even enough. Yeah, I mean that's absolute. I mean, yeah. Okay. He's a different style. He's a different style, but yeah, he has to have that guy he has to have that fearless person. Like, it's like having your boy with you. Is your boy can fight and you can't. You look better than your boy, right? You got the fly car, but you got to have him in the passenger seat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is, but it's all good. He's, but
the crazy thing is, if he's not there, nobody's even in the contention to do anything else.
He get everybody in the party. He get everybody to the party. He's like, I got tickets though.
He got everybody to. You know what? Okay, cool. Let me get a new crew to go to the party. Oh, you want to go to the party? Okay, cool. Don't go to the party. Well, we going to the party. You want to go to the party? Or you want to go to the party? Oh, you want to go to the party? Okay, Kyrie.
I'm going to the party.
Yeah. See if you're gonna go to the party in Boston, Kyrie. Go to the party.
Okay. Yeah. No. I get you. Listen.
Right. Even Dwayne Wade, when he left Miami, what did Miami do that next year? Did they go
but he went to a party before that, though. He went to a party, and he had all the trimmings from a party.
but like what 4 or 5 years later?
Yeah,
right. It wasn't like it was 4 or 5 years later. He's basically playing on a different squad than he had when he won the chip.
Yeah,
and they was barely getting out the first round if they went to the playoffs at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on a run where you're in the chip 4 years in a row.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
And then that dude leaves.
Yep.
And what does he do the next year? Goes to the chip.
Goes to the chip.
And then what does he do the next year?
Goes to the chip. And then he goes to the chip.
I mean, can't take that away, man. I mean, everybody has a role. Everybody has a role. You know.
I like
the Golden State. They picked up Kuminga.
Oh yeah, Kuminga's good.
Yeah, he is.
He's good.
And
I don't know about them though.
That may be a trade chip right there.
Yeah, they might have picked for somebody.
Yeah. I mean,
I got to see Steve Kerr do a little different with some regular old players versus the death squad that he had with Iguodala.
Well, they're gonna be a beast show. They're gonna be the probably one of the leading contenders out west. One of the top contender.
You know what made them better this year? And I'm a Steph critic, and I love Steph as a basketball player. But you know what made them better this year? Steph took care of his body. Steph got his body in the right condition to.
He put on some weight.
He put on weight. He ate differently. He built. He took it serious enough, and he was on the court. And that was his biggest problem, is that he was never strong enough, and as we have those injuries, he came to play. But I still don't think they got enough.
No.
Clay is going to be on one leg regardless of how we look at it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how's Clay looking, like for real.
And I love Clay.
I think Clay gonna come back looking like he didn't miss a beat, just like KD did. I think.
Yeah, I think Clay will be fine. I think where this injury could affect him is defensively, because he was their best perimeter defender. As a shooter, he used very little.
Yeah, he gonna shoot in the phone booth.
Yeah, like he needed very little movement, space, anything to get that shot off.
Yeah,
so
absolutely on that. I agree. I like your call on Carmelo though. Carmelo in LA would be sweet because Carmelo led the Olympic teams in scoring because he just played off all those superstars. He just stood in one spot and let them do whatever they're going to do, and he was just always open because there were so many other people on the court. If you put Westbrook, AD, and LeBron on the court, and you throw Carmelo in the corner, and he can shoot in the phone booth too.
Yeah,
and that's a. I like that pick. I would like that as a role player. He'd probably pay for $10. He wouldn't even need a contract. He'll play for
$10. He probably just, I just need a place to stay. Take care of the housekeeping and the landscaping, and I'm good.
Yeah,
Lala got a spot in LA. I'm sure they ready.
No. He needs another spot.
They back together.
Preferably out the country.
But I like that. I think
big
that's
shout out to Melo. Got love for you, brother.
I definitely like that too. That's a big move, and they're gonna break all that up in Portland. So Melo is definitely looking for a home, and that looks cozy. That looks cozy.
You guys think Lillard is going to be there this year?
Nah, I don't think so. I think I'm be in New York.
Yeah, that I see either Lillard or Sexton going to New York. Yeah, I don't see how he can stay in Portland or why.
But considering it's Dolan, do you really want to go to New York? They ain't really trying to be caught up in that.
Dolan was good this year.
They've muzzled him a little bit. I think.
It's the after. It's the if things don't go well, what's gonna happen? It's the. You know what I mean? Like it's such a headache.
I think Dolan has learned his lesson.
Man, they did it to Pat Ewing. They did it to Charles Oakley. They did.
Yeah, I think he's now like, I just need to shut up and write the check.
Yeah, he's not Jerry Jones in it.
Nah, he's like, that's not good. Because I think his father had a conversation with him. Like, look, I will sell this team, and you need to stop because you're making it bad.
Making
it bad, bro. It's New York City.
Well, Steve Perry and them boys got it running right now, and I think if Dolan comes in and any inkling of screwing it up, I think they're gonna be people at his head, and like you said, Coach, namely his dad.
Yeah,
he's because that Nick Brand turned around in 1 year, yo. They got talent, they got a foundation, and you can't take any steps back now.
Yeah,
nah.
I think that'd be a good move. If Lillard might not think right now, he might look at it look at the roster and like Julius Randle and the second year what's his name from Duke.
RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett.
I think they would trade RJ. I think he would be part of the trade.
Be a part of the trade.
He needs to be. He ain't ready. But again, Daniel number one, Julius Randle, you're number 3. All you need is that one other fill in, and then you got something.
I like the young. What's the young kid? Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson, yeah.
He could play.
He got some young springs too. He can.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got talent. They got Obi Toppin. They got a lot of pieces there.
And they got 2 picks in this draft, which are going to be used as chips to trade.
Man.
The Knicks, there's some possibility they can do something really big.
Yeah.
The problem with Lillard is, that salary.
Yeah.
That salary is huge.
Yeah,
his
he deserves every penny.
He does.
He deserves every penny. But I really want to see good things happen for New York Knicks because a lot of friends who are fans, and it's been miserable seeing them go through.
It's not fair.
It would be nice to have a conversation with a Knicks fan that meant something.
Yeah,
it's not fair. I'm 52, and that's all I can say.
Yeah, Joe would be Bernard King. I'll be like, what?
Yeah, come on, man. We got to welcome into the conversation.
See, once again, the New York Knicks Dallas Cowboy comparison. It's been such a long time.
Yeah. But the difference is we were both in our 20s the last time it happened. The Knicks haven't won since 73. You were 4 years old, my brother.
Woo! Yeah.
We were in our 20s when the Dallas Cowboys won. We could celebrate it. We could at least celebrate it. They've been sitting there like
as hard body.
Wow.
That's hard body.
Wow. You was just a toddler when they won.
Yeah, crazy.
You was still wearing the Knicks onesie. Wow.
Nah, I was never a Knicks fan though. That's it. Never a Knicks fan. Never a Knicks
I wasn't a Knicks fan.
Nah, I wasn't a Knicks fan.
I
was on that bandwagon. I was on that bandwagon, son.
He was a Dr. J. Then he moved to Schmike. He moved to LeBron.
Chicago.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. You skipped one.
Who?
Shaq and Kobe. Shaq and Kobe.
Oh, you like Shaq and Kobe? Okay.
Shaq and Kobe. Shaq was from Newark.
Yeah.
I had Kobe. You know what I mean? Even though I had a soft spot for AI, I did want to see him, get that off, but it didn't happen for him. But I like. You have to appreciate Kobe Bryant. You have to appreciate. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta appreciate him. And that said, I understand why that's your guy, Wes.
Yeah.
Totally.
That was my guy.
Yeah, that's your guy.
Magic is really my guy. Magic is really my guy, but Kobe was right behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I became a Laker fan because I watched the Bird and Magic championship game in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Greg Kelser and Magic threw him a little oop off the back. Kelser caught it, like, bam! I was like, oh, I'm sold. That was it. Michigan State. That was it. Yep. So
I've always been a Lakers fan. Back, my dad was a Kareem fan. My dad was a huge Kareem fan.
Uh-huh.
So, was a Laker. Jamal Wilkes,
Jim Jones was on the squad back in the day. The white dude backup was Landsberger.
Landsberger, yes.
Those are and Mike McGee. My boy was Mike McGee. Used to come off the bench, give you some points, and then I was a Michael Cooper lover.
Michael Cooper, yeah.
God, I love Michael Cooper.
Now he might have been the original when you talk about extremities, length.
Yeah,
like
long.
He was long, man, and he could defend, he could pass, he could do everything you needed him to do.
Except when he was getting dunked on by Dr. J.
Doc got him. Doc got him like with the cradle.
Oh, I got a take for y'all. Is Giannis just a taller, stronger Dr. J?
Wow.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, that's
But I think I have a comparison. He's a younger. He looks like a younger Wilt to me, Wilt Chamberlain.
If you know what, if they would have let Wilt handle like he was capable of doing,
it. Yeah, I've seen some refurbished footage. Like you see the old joints and be like looking crazy, but when they put it in like you looks like real. It looks like today's basketball. It really does. Yeah. And he's running the floor like Giannis. He's like passing. He's doing all that. But younger Wilt, not older Wilt against Kareem. Younger Wilt.
Yeah, young. If you see any footage of him in college,
Yeah.
He would literally take it off the backboard or out the air, and push it himself.
Yeah. That Aiton defensive play, that was Wilt Chamberlain, yo.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt could do that.
Yeah. I like both those comparisons though, because you could see a little bit of both of them in Giannis.
And the reason I said Dr. J, because Dr. J, his whole career only went right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Giannis only goes right.
Oh.
And Doc, every now and then, might shoot the 15-footer. Giannis, every now and then, might shoot the 15-footer.
Wow.
Otherwise, we're attacking the rim.
Yeah.
Attack.
Attack.
Yep.
Nice.
That's all he was doing.
Attack. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, another comparison I like, and people kind of, one of my buddies said it, and I was like, man, that is true. But when you say that again, people look at you like you're nuts. But and the player that's the second player that reminds me of the first player, the second player is obviously way better. But when I watch Steph Curry, I always thought about Mahmoud Rauf, Chris Jackson.
Yes.
And I'm like, so it's like, I've seen this before. It's just not, it wasn't, Chris Jackson was getting knocked on his butt, and he was getting, because they let him know you're not doing that here with the handle, and you know, he had a little flash to him too. But that's who Steph reminded me of when as soon as he got to the league and started having the success he had. I thought about Mahmoud Rauf.
That's dope.
And I was like, man. And we was talking about it. I was like, yeah, but everybody like, oh, hey, Steph Curry. I mean, I get that. I'm not trying to but dude, Chris Jackson, he was a bad player too.
Yeah. Well, again, the differences in the games in era, and when you look at the different eras, like the style of play, what's allowed versus what's not allowed, what you get, even referee and all that, but even amongst the players, the culture, how it expresses itself on the court. Now you're not doing all that stuff. Now it's allowed for the get your boogie off like Steph Curry does it. It's like we celebrate that, we elevate that, So that's interesting. That's dope. Yeah.
I love that comparison because Chris Jackson at LSU going into the league, he had all that,
He was a problem.
The range, he had all that.
He still got it actually.
Yeah,
he's nasty right now.
He got kicked out for political reasons, not because of basketball.
Yeah, political reasons and what he stood for.
He was the original Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like big respect to him.
Yep. But you are right. He is the precursor to Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Easily. I like that one. I like that a lot.
They just drafted Cliff. My man went to Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That means your boy might get traded. Buddy Hield might be on the move.
Yeah.
Well, you saw the initial trade was that they did for Russ Westbrook. They actually offered to Sacramento,
and they didn't want it.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
And which I thought was they were offering too much for Buddy Hield. He didn't.
Yeah. I agree with that one. So, but they have Bachnaty as the best player available right now, and the Pelicans are about to pick
Zaire Williams. Pelicans just picked Zaire Williams.
Okay,
he's tough.
Oh yeah, he is tough. Yeah, I like Stanford. They had a decent year this year too.
Good pick, good solid pick.
You know what you're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
My thing with this, so isn't he the same thing as what's my man, Brandon
Ingram,
yeah.
Well, they might move Ingram because they got to keep Zion.
Or do they move Zion?
No, they're not gonna move.
Hey, look, man, Zion got up on that podium and said, "I love playing in New York."
Yeah, listen, it's going to be that's going to be another test of player empowerment once his second deal comes around, he's gonna dictate where he wants to go. I'm telling you, that's you see that. And again, that New York plug.
It was real.
Yeah,
that made
he basically was like, y'all should go ahead and propose the trade.
Yeah. Now imagine him and Dame end up in New York.
Oh Lord. Ooh, the city would just be electric.
Yeah. Julius Randle should pack his bags because he'll be playing with the Pelicans. He'll get reunited with his old Laker teammates. The whole squad is on.
They'd be back together again.
Wow. If Zion Williams and Dame Lillard end up in New York together, New York is gonna be off the chain.
Yeah.
Because the best game is those Brooklyn, New York games. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's gonna be off the rafters, bro. Damn. I will definitely be up there catching them joints.
You don't think the NBA would love to have Zion in New York?
Oh, yes, they would love that.
Yes, they would. Yeah.
That would be their best.
Zion and Dame.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So this kid played with Bronny and Dwayne Wade, son?
Yeah. He went to Sierra Canyon.
Okay.
Which they have another kid in this draft too. That's from Sierra Canyon, I think.
I tell you, I wish there was a place for that kid that plays with one arm, man. That kid.
That boy's nice.
Yeah. I had
nasty.
Woo.
A friend of mine actually called me. He coaches his son's AAU, and they played against the kid, and he said the kid is legit. Like the kid legit can play.
That's what I heard. He could play.
I'm just at the end of the day, I hope he's able to get a free education out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, not just a free education, because of the whole NIL thing now, he's able to get some sponsorship dollars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's an incredible person.
He's incredible. Man.
It's amazing.
He can play. So what you think about? I haven't really seen him play besides like little high school hoop takes, but is Bronny good?
I think he's developing just the way he should. I actually think he is. I might get killed for this one. I think he is better or smarter player than his father.
Wow.
And I think his all-around game is better than his father seeing them at the same age.
Okay.
Wow. At the same age, I got it.
But it's supposed to be though.
Yeah, at 16, he's a better player. 16,
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because everything that he's had at his disposal coming up, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, it's supposed.
It should be better.
Should be better.
But most people would never want to even think of that being possible or that happening.
Yeah,
but that's to me that's why it would. Can I just, as an aside, talk about Space Jam?
No, really, you don't have to talk about it.
No, the whole thing with him and the relationship between him and his son in the joint, I thought that was dope. Whether the acting was dope and all that other stuff, I thought that was very dope. That they played that out, right? So in real life, right, you have his son. Well, one of his sons playing basketball right behind him. And, everybody's watching him to see what he's going to do. Are you going to be like your father? Are you going to do it like your father? And it would be really dope to see him be better than his father. Yeah. Like it. That would be a greater testament to his father that,
I submit.
Submit yourself to elevate. Like that's what it's about, bro.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good point.
That would be a good point. But to take it back to what you just said, I don't agree with y'all in saying that he is supposed to be better. You expect him to be better. If Bronny is better than LeBron,
I think they were saying
if he's better than him at 16, I remember when Bron was 16 and I was running out to get a VHS tape of that cat. All what we saw what that cat was doing when he was a sophomore, and you guys are saying that Bronny is better at this stage.
No, I'm taking it to
at the same stage.
That it's the head, it's the IQ, it's above the head, the understanding of the game and how it's supposed to work, how it's supposed to function. Where at this age, he's more advanced than his father. He's not the same size. He's not the same. He's not the same player. So it's not necessarily going to translate the same way, but you know, he still got time to develop before you could say he's better than his father.
Yeah, he's not physically where his father was at 16, but from an IQ standpoint and from a skill standpoint, he's better than his father. Wow. He can handle, he can shoot it, you know, and he can defend. His father really, he still can't shoot. Couldn't shoot. He was just physically imposing.
He was obese. Yeah.
He was physically imposing. That's what Bronny doesn't have. And he may not ever need it because he has those other things.
Yeah. Got you. I like I said, I only see like highlights and I just want to know how he plays. How about Zaire Wade? How is he?
His issue is that he's not his father in no way. He does have his father's athleticism, but he doesn't have his father's kind of just that dog that his father had. But he can play. He can play. He can play. I think it hurt him that he was hurt his senior year in high school, but he can play.
Where's he going to college?
Don't know, actually.
Okay.
I don't know.
The Hornets got boat night.
That's my guy right there. Good.
Him and Lonzo. Him and LaMelo, rather.
That's a nice backcourt right there. They only going to be together for maybe two years though, because Mike ain't paying nobody no max contract.
Yeah, LaMelo out of there.
That's a nice backcourt.
Mike said, "I got a tea time."
So Mike, how come Mike don't want to win, Coach?
Yeah, well, I don't understand that.
You have to maybe quantify win for me.
Yeah, small market, building a championship team in a small market like Charlotte is tough. You gotta,
because as a businessman, what's winning? Profit, right?
That's right.
And I think that's all he's trying to be is profitable.
Probably right on that.
You know, I mean, you look at a team. Look, Golden State, which is considered small market, actually, they won 3 championships, 3 championships. No. They're $50 million in luxury tax. That's not profitable, you know. So I think Mike's being a good businessman. You know, do I want Charlotte to win? Yes, I would love to see him hoist a trophy as an owner, as he did as a player. But at what cost? At what cost?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's a very profound way to look at things. You know, but for the fan, it's like, come on, dude. It's Michael Jordan. It's the GOAT.
Yeah, I'm sure no one in Charlotte wants to hear that.
You know, you see your sneakers, your brand. It's the Jordan brand. It's what it represents. It represents championships, winning. Well, I got money. Okay, there it is. So it is.
JT put Gervin Ewing sons and Jordan sons are all pale in comparison, and I still never forget. They put a high school classic up between Jordan's sons was playing against Eric Gordon. And I was calling Eric Gordon Eric Jordan. I said, that's his real son right there. Because I think he had like 36 and little Jordan had like 6 and the other Jordan had like 3. It was just like it was on ESPN too. It was like Eric Gordon was giving it to those boys.
Wow.
Yeah, I coached against Jordan's son. We played him when I was at St. Anthony's, and we were sitting there the whole game just like, man, that's Jordan's son? Wow. Nothing like his dad, nothing, And he was a good player.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He was
athletic.
But it was just like, we didn't have to game plan for him.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, yeah, that's Jordan's son. That was it.
But he was athletic. He could play. He just wasn't anywhere near the semblance of Michael Jordan.
Nowhere close, my man.
Mm-mm. Eric Gordon looked like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, He's nowhere close.
It was crazy.
Wow. That's crazy. That's it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. It looked like he told his sons to play in a mansion court, and he should have dropped them off in the park in Chicago somewhere because they were just athletes.
Yeah,
they were athletic. That's it looked like he didn't spend. I know you might be going with that. It looked like he didn't spend a minute of time with those boys. It looked like I don't think Mike was spending no time with those fellas at all. I mean, that's what it looked like. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if Jordan spent a lot of time just doing shooting games or anything, And we hear about his, tremendous work ethic and workouts. I don't think his sons were there with him.
Yeah, they had to be somewhere else. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. A little prickly.
You got the props coming up. I know.
No props this week. No props.
You're right. I agree with you. I know you're going with it. I'm gonna tiptoe down that lane with you.
I don't know if everybody else in the building is catching it, but it's solid.
You brought up 2 good points. You explained how this is a reflection of a man, and this is a reflection of a man. I was with you the whole time. Yeah. I'm always walking down with you, Hawk. I know where you're going. We had a funny conversation, Coach, this week. Me and Hawk were chopping it up, and Hawk was so excited about Durant losing in that Olympic game. And he was like, he's like, yeah. And how's that gonna look on his resume? I said, well, how does it look when LeBron and Carmelo and Wade lost? He was like, I forgot about that. I was like, oh,
what was that? 2004?
Yeah, 04. Yeah.
Which
touche.
Yeah.
Which is he shouldn't have been on that team. Paul Pierce should have been on there.
The 3 of them were all rookies, right? Or second years, right? Yeah. And Larry Brown don't play young people. So people were saying that they should have been there because there were players that should have been there that Larry Brown would have probably played. He had AI and Marbury in the backcourt, right?
Yep.
They were on that team. Tim Duncan was on that team.
Yep.
Yeah. And to that point, that happening is far different than KD at this point in his career.
Yeah.
With the talent he's surrounded by. Like they shouldn't
have lost either. Like not that that was LeBron's fault, because that's not the conversation. Mm-hmm. That was just they shouldn't have lost either. The only problem with USA basketball is they don't have enough time together.
Man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. Players who can play,
they're gonna play.
They're gonna play.
Okay. And Wes, is what you've been saying.
Yeah,
it's that one-on-one basketball. That
1-4 set.
Exactly. Nah, man. Come on, man. Like,
what it is remember, the NBA is entertainment. The Olympics is basketball.
Basketball. Thank you. Right back.
That's a good point. Good point.
Mm-hmm. And they've been playing. They've been entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And it's not so much they need to play together more, but they do need time to adjust their minds from entertaining to, we should just be playing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it was heartbreaking to watch them. First of all, to even lose them exhibition games. But when they actually lost to France, it was like, really?
And Rudy Gobert was talking mess. I'm like, woo. That's Evan Fournier dropping 28. I was like, woo.
Is this what we allowing? Like at some point,
it's not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look. Anytime we lose, I just think it's bad. But I think with the Dream Team, what made them even more special was their ability to play together every game. Even with all those, I mean, they had mega egos on that squad. And Mullen used to get off, and Drexler used to get off, and Scotty got off, and David Robinson and Ewing got off on some games, and Magic and Jordan always did what they did. Karl Malone and Barkley did what they did. Everybody got off. And these teams, some of these guys don't even get to play.
Well, and the other thing, that was going back to the dog analogy. Every one of those guys on the Dream Team, all the way to Christian Laettner, they were all dogs.
Yeah.
They were a pack of dogs.
That was a pack. I mean, because Christian Laettner, he wasn't a great pro, but I tell people all the time, he's on my first team all college player I ever seen play.
Yeah, he was a dog. He was a dog.
Really accomplished. He actually deserved to be on that team. Even though, well, if you want to put
it, Lonzo Mourning were.
Yeah.
Well, you also had Shaq.
If you want to if you had to put a college player on the team, you know what I'm saying? Because again, the narratives of those teams were different back then, coming off of the original Dream Team. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And them deciding on how they want to basically compete against the world. You know, but now it's all level. You know, if we don't come to play, we're gonna get beat. You know, and these teams are good.
It's some dogs over in Slovenia.
Oh yeah, I was getting ready to mention
it's a big dog. It's a big dog.
Slovenia, we better watch out for them because those boys are playing. Luka got the boys playing.
You got dogs in Argentina now. You got dogs in France, Australia.
Nigeria.
You know, I honestly, it's not a lot of dogs on our team.
But I think you made the great point about entertainment and basketball. And I think those countries recognize when they come to the league and they see all the fanfare and the hype about the entertainment type of game, and then they go back home and they play with their teammates or their country mates, and they playing hard, and they like, man, they don't play like that in the States. Look at the foul calls that they making. It's a whole different animal over there. And they just ready.
Yeah.
They ready. And we look at everybody like, you know how it was. You know, you look at you guys. You have a Nike sweatsuit on and your crispy sneakers. Why they back up? Look at me. Look how I'm dressed.
Right. Yeah, they got the Russell Athletics jersey on. You know, it's like I'm not even taking y'all serious.
Yeah.
And they start getting buckets. I just don't think we have enough dogs on this team. I really don't.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
We got LaVelle McGee on this team, man. Like.
LaVelle McGee. We couldn't find somebody besides they couldn't put Julius Randle on this squad.
Well, they got DeLon Walker on this team. You know what I mean? So,
hey, at one point, one of them games, Jeremy Grant actually started. Like, we're not going to talk about him being on the team, but he actually started.
Yeah.
Well, what's up with players not wanting to go? Not wanting to participate?
Well, this year, I can just understand this year. I mean, with COVID and all of just the lockdown, people just don't want to be away from their families that long. That's a big commitment. But, you know, other than that, I mean, these guys, like, he in Monaco chilling with Magic and Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
James Harden.
Short turnaround time.
Very short turnaround time.
Yeah.
And there's something that's missing, I think, in all of this with these NBA players who are very socially conscious and active. Do they really want to represent this country right now with everything that's going on?
Thank you.
I think that's a good point.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
And you look at the ones who are missing, it's also some of the guys who spoke out the loudest.
That's right.
Over the past year or so.
That's right, man. Thank you.
Steph, LeBron. Yep. Makes sense.
You know, they want us to be proud of something, but don't want to be proud of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that really played a role into the formation of this team. Even when you look at who they pulled up when guys got sick or whatever the case may be, you pick up LaVelle McGee, you pick up whether Keldon Johnson or whatever,
Yeah.
and who was the third person they picked
Walker.
up?
Oh, he was on the team already, or Walker wasn't on the team yet.
So it's like these aren't the guys any of us would go to or names we would have thought of. I think we all could have thought of 10 other guys before we would have even those guys entered our minds.
Yeah.
But I do believe that's a part of where we are now. Whereas Luka is proud as I don't know what to play for
Slovenia.
Okay. Can I go down the list of the team, the roster?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bam, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Jeremy Grant, Draymond Green, Drew Holiday, Keldon Johnson, Zach LaVine, Damian Lillard, JaVale McGee, Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum. Yeah.
How many all NBA players on that team?
One.
KD,
Draymond.
No,
Draymond wasn't all NBA.
Damian Lillard.
That's
Lillard
it.
might be.
That's it. Just those two, Lillard and Durant.
I mean, the people that are missing,
you got
talking
Jason,
about is
Jason,
probably
Jason,
LeBron,
Jason
Steph, Chris Paul,
Kyrie.
Yeah, but
James
come on,
Harden.
they got Jason Tatum, Chris Middleton, Damian
Paul
Lillard,
George.
Drew Holiday. I mean, he's tired. I don't know. He just came off the championship. He just came out the playoffs. Just not bringing it.
Kawhi Leonard. That's a lot of good. We just named like Anthony Davis. That's
Paul
like
George.
Yeah, we got a pretty good list that didn't go. That would play over a lot of people there already.
In fact, we got another team that would beat this team.
Yeah, and Dame and KD would be the only ones that would be like got a spot. Like everybody else is like, you can't even play for your spot. You just not getting the spot.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking this roster overseas should be not doing what they're doing.
No.
You're right.
No. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Hey man,
We gotta lose first. I'm a wait for it to happen. Then I'll be all over it. But I gotta see it happen first. It could happen.
So right. They're 1-1. What's the record right now?
1-1. I'm with you, Wes. I just something in me can't believe that they at the end of the day will lose.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's not gonna happen. Because I know I agree with Hawk. I just don't want to say it right now because it's like
and it's like lose what? Is silver or bronze good enough? Or it has
No.
to be gold?
lose.
No.
Gold
You
or
got
bust.
gold or bust.
Gold or bust.
Yeah. If they don't bring back the goal,
This is done.
Gold or bust. You got that on your resume, and it's not a good look at all.
in fact, if they don't win the goal, I need Popovich to retire and not even come back and coach the Spurs. I need a lot of changes to happen.
You went there with it.
Yeah.
Pop is out there right now because Pop was outspoken too. So
Very much so.
he's expendable now, and Duncan and Parker ain't walking back through the door no more. So he said he was going to leave, but he's still there because Pop is competitive within his own mind. He want to prove that it was him, not them. And the bottom line is, it looks like that San Antonio way is not really working that much. Not so much that they can win, or you have to get drafted by San Antonio for it to work, because he had success with Kawhi. He did. He was having success with him. Kawhi just got hurt. But the other guys, nothing. Aldridge and DeRozan, they didn't buy into the way.
And remember, the San Antonio way is actually an international way. Mm-hmm. It's an international style of playing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going with. My next question to you, Coach, is: would this be an indictment on how the U.S. plays basketball, on the NBA, the NBA style of game? Is that an indictment on
It's definitely an indictment on the NBA. And to Wes's point of Aldridge, DeRozan, and these guys in not being successful, they never bought in. The reason that San Antonio worked with Duncan and Parker, Ginobili, they're international players, but they bought in because the style of play fit what they came from. You know, a lot of us as fans, even though we loved San Antonio from a basketball perspective, from an entertainment perspective, we didn't really like them. You know, we didn't really want to watch them. It wasn't the best. But from the basketball part of you, like, oh man, that's good ball movement. Look at that. Look at those passes. That's crisp. You know, but we like the ISO. You know, we like all that stuff. So, and the NBA has become that. You know, Golden State won with the San Antonio style of play. That's all Steve Kerr did. And he utilized shooters instead of the post. He didn't use the mid post game of, say, dunking, because he didn't have that. He used shooters. And he won. They moved the ball. It's a philosophy called 0.5, where in 0.5 seconds, the ball has to leave your hand. These guys on this Olympic team, the thought of what they're going to do hasn't even entered their mind in 0.5. So they can't buy in. So I do believe that Popovich, I do believe he will be expendable because the game has passed him by. You know.
Yeah. I think that's what it really boils down to. Like, and he's not a. Yeah. I feel bad for him though, because I like Pop.
I do too. I love him. I love him. He's like he's becoming Larry Brown to me. Remember, Larry Brown's style of play really worked when he was in Detroit. Got to Philly, finally got AI to buy in. They get to the championship with by far the worst team to ever be in the championship series in any sport. You know,
yeah.
But then after that, when it didn't really succeed by them winning, it was like, this isn't going to work. You know, Pop got a few extra years because they did win. They won 5 championships.
Yeah, they won 5 times.
You know, so it gave him some time. You know, but now
he won in different decades too.
Yeah.
He spread them out. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Duncan was there every time,
and they always stay competitive. They were always there. It would never not, in the playoffs during that stretch, right?
Yeah, they made the playoffs. Duncan's whole career.
Didn't he have the longest?
Yeah, he had the longest streak.
The longest streak.
But these kids now aren't going to buy into that. They're, the one-on-one playing and everything. That's who they are. The NBA is nothing but a better officiated Dykeman at this point.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's an indictment on the NBA style of basketball. The U.S. style of basketball.
Yes.
Yeah, and with so many international players entering into the NBA, coming with their style of play, do we see the NBA change over time?
Yeah, it's going to, and the NBA is saying it too. That's why they're doing these academies, internationally. They're also, they're doing camps now. They're getting more former players into coaching because they see it's gone too far. Like this ISO ball, this one-on-one, it's gone too far. We want to entertain, but we also need.
You want to see a good product.
Yeah.
There it is.
And it's a way to entertain and still play good basketball.
Yeah.
Get people involved, play an above the rim game.
You gotta watch it. I watch it by myself now because it's like I can't even like watch it with people because the stuff that they spewing out their mouth. I'm looking at them like, what you watching? like that's my circle is right here. This is it.
We paid attention to the mid-range game, coach.
Yeah,
and how we see it more and more come back. We saw a trend And people started highlighting these different players who've added that into their game and trying to just shift the focus away from so many 3-pointers. And I remember a time when it was all about dunking the ball. Everybody want to go to the lane and do some old dunk or do some whatever, and then the game went outside, and then Steph Curry just took it over the top, and that's what the game is right now. But we see the mid-range come back.
Yeah.
So it's like, it'd be good to see, other aspects of the game come back and be focused on and sold to us in a way that entertains us.
I remember when the coach came on the first time and we talked about the mid-range game, and we just talked about it like how we missed it, and then how they try to narrative it now, and they're highlighting it now like it's a new thing. Like I'm looking at like they're talking about the mid-range game like it's new, like it's something that, did you look at Chris Paul? He's in the mid-range, and it's like it's not a new phenomenon. Like even what the Golden State did, they won, like you said, with San Antonio ball, but the Houston Rockets won playing that same way too. They worked from the outside, inside, and they kicked it back out. Andrew Bogut wasn't Olajuwon, but it still worked from the post. That's what people don't. And Golden State just had freakish shooters. That's it.
Yeah, they just had range. They would shoot mid range if they just didn't have to, because they had incredible range. And where I see the game now. I run the summer league in Jersey City now and have little 3rd and 4th graders. And we put them on the lower rims to teach them how to shoot properly, proper form, because they want to chuck the ball up. They can't make a layup.
And they want to shoot threes.
They want to shoot threes. And not only the crazy part about, to me, shooting threes is you got to constantly go chase the ball because it's never hitting the rim. So you got to chase the ball and everything. But they rather do that than learn how to shoot a layup, and then let's shoot a free throw, and then in time we'll be able to shoot a 3-pointer. That's what the game had become, because everyone, saw what Steph was doing and Golden State did. But I think this playoffs was a testament to, you can win by shooting layups and the mid-range, and an open 3 when it's there, like you're supposed to. That's what the game is.
Right. And you can have a big man.
Yeah, and your big man can. I know this is a novel idea. He can actually post up and be able to shoot the 3.
You can do both.
Yeah.
It's a high percentage shot to take a dunk and get fouled versus taking a 3-pointer and shooting 22% from 3.
Yeah.
As a 7-footer.
You know what, Lopez, and I know most people didn't even look at this. Lopez would pick and roll and get a dunk, but he would also pick and pop.
Yeah, be the shooter. Yeah,
versatility, just being
Inside
able
out.
to do every aspect of the game.
Yeah, and he had years where he didn't even want to go in the paint because everybody wanted him to shoot threes.
Yeah,
and he could be, and he was a dominant big man. And
yes,
he was dominant. Like you forgot how good he was until you saw him play this way he did in Milwaukee this year.
Yep.
Like you forgot that he was that guy.
Yeah, because physically, he's a physically imposing guy.
Yeah.
And early on when you looked at the games that Milwaukee lost in the playoffs, it was because he wasn't going inside; he was outside too much. So the game to me is a simple game. We complicate it by doing all these other things, and sometimes it's not about data; it's just about feel and common sense. We know 3 is worth more than 2. That's only if you're making the 3.
Yeah. It's easier. It's easier to get to, though.
Yeah.
Golden State picked up Moses Moody. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's the kid from Arkansas, right?
Is there a kid in the draft that couldn't make it or something? Because I saw his mother go up to the stage and
no, that was Terrence Clark, the kid who passed away in the car accident.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I respect the NBA for doing that.
That's right.
That's huge because he was probably projected lottery pick.
Yeah.
I
forgot about that one.
And I don't know if y'all saw, but Zaire got traded to Memphis.
Okay.
Already.
Yeah, that was the first trade. Yeah.
Going with Ja.
Yep.
Yep. So we taking a hiatus, right, Hawk?
Yes, sir. Through the month of August, we're going to take a break from IZM Sports, come back on September 9th, right in time for the Super Bowl. The opening week of the NFL, the Thursday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, Hawk. Your team, your squad.
Well, no, I don't really mess with the Cowboys like that. I'm covering football because we do the sports show, and that's why I cover football. And I love the game of football. But Jerry Jones and his shenanigans with that other guy, I see.
I'm about him. I'm about my Cowboys. I'll be covering them. Me and Wes will be on top of them.
Yeah, I'll have a little drink I'll drink to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Hawk, I like the way you standing on your principles.
We're not mad at him.
I got the colors on the whole nine. Yeah, I can't tell now, but
But Wes and Cliff gonna have another disappointing season.
Probably.
Likely.
But we gotta rock with them, We gotta rock with them.
It's like Knicks fans.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, listen, I'll take that because I know going into this year, I didn't think anything of the Knicks. So now if the Cowboys somehow end up in the playoffs and get a win, I'll take it.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just go and wait because I don't know what to expect with them no more.
Yeah.
They know how to lose a game.
Mm-hmm.
They mastered that. They know how to lose. Yep. So
that is the truth.
So yeah, we've been rocking out for a little bit. I don't know if you guys want to keep going or you want to tail it off. I
gotta step away.
Yeah, I see it in the face. Yeah, no doubt. So before we break it up, I need comments on the youngster Jaden Springer coming out of Tennessee.
Oh yeah,
Big shout out to the Springer family. Gary and Barbarita. Barbarita is my old high school mate, and that's their son. And we're hoping for the best.
He's going soon. You know what'd be crazy if he's the LA pick at 22 that has to go to DC, because I have him slated between 17 and 25.
Well, the Daily Wager actually put him on the over. They actually mentioned him, and he was slotted at 24.5 pick, and they said he was going to go over. So either way, big up to him. Because
absolutely.
Again, you being picked in the 20s, a freshman out of Tennessee did his thing too.
Yeah.
Big up.
I said that would be dope though. You were part of that trade though. The Lakers drafted.
Yeah. That would be dope.
That package. You can say I was part of the Westbrook package.
Yeah.
And another one I want to shout out is Sharif Cooper. Family is
Coop.
Is East Orange.
Yeah, that's right. East Orange in the building, no doubt.
The young fella should be somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah, we said I was talking Charlotte, but that didn't happen, no, right? Where's Charlotte at?
Yeah, I don't see it going to happen in Charlotte now.
In Charlotte, he just picked, right?
With their backcourt, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah. No doubt, East Orange in the building. Jersey, go Jersey.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So, Coach, we appreciate you taking this time with us, man, hopping in, your expertise and knowledge of the game. No doubt, we needed that. And nice way to cover the NBA draft, as a closeout for the IZM Sports show this season. So, thank you, sir.
No, I appreciate you guys having me. Always enjoy myself. Wes always gets in the weeds there. I like that. And Hawk, you say you stay true to yourself, and that LeBron nonsense. Cliff, I'm glad you added some balance here. I'm glad you added some balance. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, Coach.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. And everybody in the building that joined us, thank you. JT, we see you. Yulan, thank you. Jermaine, Peanut, everybody that joined in. Shout out, and we'll see y'all September 9th for the NFL. Peace.
Peace out.